Chapter 248. Ew. What is in your body? The Ghost King sensed that not only did the ancient frost spirit water fail to self-destruct, but it also lost its connection with it. Do you want to know? Come in and take a look. Yi Chunfeng had the God-Eater brain in his soul and the Chaos Divine Wood in his body. He was not afraid of the Ghost King taking over his body. Brat, I will kill you today. The Ghost King realized that Yi Chunfeng was hiding many secrets. If it could get them, it might be able to change its fate. Huff! The Ghost King burned its soul and controlled the White Bones Yellow Springs array to fuse with the Jade White Bones tree. It increased the power of the Jade White Bones tree to the greatest extent, giving Yi Chunfeng a lot of pressure. Ghost King, you are not the only one with the heavenly wood. As the power of the Jade White Bones tree increased exponentially, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Chaos Divine Wood in his heart that had just devoured the ancient spirit frozen water. Although the Jade White Bones tree had been growing for more than 10,000 years and only a small part of the Chaos Divine Wood, the power of the Chaos Divine Wood was not something the Jade White Bones tree could compare to. What? What kind of wood is this? The Ghost King's soul had fused with the Jade White Bones tree. When it sensed the aura of the Chaos Divine Wood, it immediately sensed danger. Chaos Force, shatter! Yi Chunfeng did not care about the Ghost King. He summoned the two thin strands of Chaos Force that the Chaos Divine Wood had nurtured in the early stage and bombarded the Jade White Bones tree. The terrifying Chaos Force directly destroyed the Jade White Bones tree and severely injured the Ghost King's soul. Chaos Divine Wood devour. The primal Chaos Force blasted a large hole in the Jade White Bone tree. Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the primal Chaos Divine Wood to fly into the Jade White Bone tree. It condensed a large amount of green strands that seeped into the Jade White Bone tree and crazily devoured the spiritual energy it contained. Stop now. Feeling the spiritual energy in the Jade White Bone tree rapidly depleting, the Ghost King immediately panicked. He roared at Yi Chunfeng. If you're willing to let me go, I'll give you everything here. After I destroy you, everything here will belong to me. There's no need for you to send me away. Yi Chunfeng's lips curled into a cold smile. Don't force me. If you force me, I'll take you down with me. The Ghost King sensed that 1/5 of the White Bone Jade tree's spiritual energy had been devoured by the Chaos Divine Wood. Perish together? You think too highly of yourself. Yi Chunfeng remained unmoved and sneered. You forced me into this. White Bone's Yellow Springs formation explode. When the Ghost King saw that Yi Chunfeng was not going to let him go, he made up his mind and detonated the White Bone's Yellow Springs formation. A destructive force surged towards Yi Chunfeng like a tidal wave, wanting to kill him. Sword Puppet, block. At this critical moment, Yi Chunfeng ordered the sword puppet to block in front of him. He used his indestructible body to block the explosion of the White Bone's Yellow Springs formation. What's that sound? The mystic Turtle King, who was continuously attacking the White Bone Gate with two giant axes weighing tens of thousands of pounds, was shocked when he heard the loud explosion coming from the White Bone Gate. He quickly increased the power of his attacks, wanting to break through the White Bone Gate as soon as possible so that he could rush in and see what was going on. Go to hell. The explosion of the White Bone's Yellow Springs formation was blocked by the sword puppet. The Ghost King immediately left the Jade White Bone tree that was completely restrained by the Chaos Divine Wood. He flew towards Yi Chunfeng at an extremely fast speed. Seeing the Ghost King's soul flying towards him, Yi Chunfeng did not have any reaction. He allowed the Ghost King to break through his soul defense and enter his brain. God-Eater brain, devour! The moment the Ghost King's soul entered Yi Chunfeng's brain, the God-Eater brain appeared. It formed a terrifying devouring vortex in Yi Chunfeng's mind and devoured the Ghost King's soul. No, the Ghost King never dreamed that Yi Chunfeng's mind would have the God-Eater brain that could suppress souls. He was instantly terrified and struggled violently. However, the devouring power released by the God-Eater brain was not something he could resist. In the blink of an eye, The Ghost King's soul was shredded by the devouring vortex. He could not even self-destruct. Please, please let me go. As long as you let me go, I'm willing to recognize you as my master. The Ghost King's consciousness became more and more blurred. He kept begging Yi Chen-feng to let him go. However, Yi Chen-feng was unmoved by the Ghost King's pleas. Soon, the devouring vortex shredded the Ghost King's soul and completely devoured it. After devouring the Ghost King's soul, the God-Eater brain split a large number of brain cells and gradually formed the embryonic form of the God-Eater brain. Without the Ghost King's soul, the jade white bone tree completely lost its ability to resist. Soon, it was completely devoured by the chaos divine wood and turned into ashes that filled the sky. After devouring the ancient frost spirit water and the jade white bone tree, the energy contained in the chaos divine wood rose rapidly. For strands of chaotic power were born from the tree body. More importantly, after devouring the jade white bone tree, a five-colored bud drilled out of the chaos divine wood. The chaos divine wood has sprouted. Discovering the five-colored bud growing out of the chaos divine wood, Yi Chen-feng revealed a look of pleasant surprise. The stronger the chaos divine wood was, the stronger his power would be. When the chaos divine would return to Yi Chen-feng's body, it immediately integrated a large amount of pure spiritual power into his body. The surging spiritual power was like a surging tide that instantly flowed throughout his body, rapidly increasing Yi Chen-feng's soul power. In an instant, Yi Chen-feng felt that the soul power in his body was almost overflowing. The soul power contained in the two-headed Blood Dragon King had also reached the limit of its realm. Sword puppet, protect me. Breaking through was imminent. Yi Chen-feng immediately ordered the sword puppet to protect him while he sat cross-legged on the spot, preparing to break through to the rank 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm. Once he could break through to the rank 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm, coupled with the 4 strands of chaotic power produced by the Chaos Divine Wood, even if he couldn't find the Ghost King Bursting Bead, he was confident that he could kill the Mystic Turtle King and plunder his monster core. Under the guidance of the soul devouring tactic, a terrifying spiritual power was constantly circulating in Yi Chen-feng's body. His own realm was also rapidly rising. If an ordinary person absorbed the endless spiritual power released by the Chaos Divine Wood, their body would have exploded long ago. However, Yi Chen-feng's cultivation foundation was solid, and his body was strong. He could completely withstand the surging spiritual power in his body. Moreover, he had cultivated the 6 Meridians' divine shield to the 6th realm. His body had already undergone earth-shaking changes. There were already very few impurities in his body. When he broke through to the rank 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm, there were almost no impurities in his body. Seeing that his body was overflowing with soul power, the two-headed Blood Dragon King had reached the limit of its realm and broke through to the rank 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm in the most perfect way. Suddenly, a deafening explosion sounded. The Mystic Turtle King, who was holding 2 axes, finally smashed the solid white bone door and broke into the stone hall that had long been turned into ruins. He saw Yi Chen-feng, who was breaking through to the Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm. Yi Chen-feng, let's see where you can escape to this time. Chapter 249. The Black Tortoise King's murderous aura surged as it attacked. The sword spirit puppet immediately combusted 20 devil crystal bones, erupting with a shocking demonic aura. Holding the Corpse King hammer that weighed more than 10,000 jin, it blocked in front of Yi Chen-feng and engaged in a fierce battle with the Black Tortoise King. Get out of my way! The Black Turtle King, who was in combat form, roared. The silver spear flew out of its mouth and stabbed at the sword puppet's chest like a silver dragon. Try to force it back. However, the sword puppet burned 20 magic crystal bones at once, and the power it erupted with was extremely terrifying. It resisted the Black Turtle King's full spear attack, not giving it a chance to attack Yi Chen-feng. First-level Mystic Beast Grandmaster breakthrough. At the critical moment, the soul power in Yi Chen-feng's body finally reached the overflowing level. His spiritual beast, the double-headed Blood Dragon King, also reached the limit of soul power. It directly broke through the bottleneck and naturally broke through to the first-level Mystic Beast Grandmaster realm. I finally broke through. At the moment of the breakthrough, Yi Chunfeng felt that his strength had increased by more than 10 times, and the double-headed Blood Dragon King had become even more terrifying. Black Turtle King, I must kill you today. Yi Chunfeng, whose strength had advanced by leaps and bounds, bounced up from the ground. His spiritual beast, the double-headed Blood Dragon King, emerged from his body and roared fiercely at the Black Turtle King. The terrifying dragon power frightened the Black Turtle King. Although the Black Turtle King smelled a strong sense of danger from Yi Chunfeng, the opportunity on Yi Chunfeng attracted it like poison, so it decided to take the risk to kill Yi Chunfeng. Monster Core Burn. In order to finally kill Yi Chunfeng, the Black Turtle King burned 1/10 of the power of the Monster Core at once. Waves of monster power that made Yi Chunfeng feel suffocated emanated from its huge body. Chaotic Power Break. When the Black Turtle King burned its monster core and its strength skyrocketed, a hairy chaotic power flew out, broke through the Black Turtle King's body defense, damaged its meridians, and blasted a big hole in its body. The Black Turtle King's body was suddenly heavily injured. The Black Turtle King's demonic power suddenly became chaotic. It was so scared that it stopped burning its demonic core and stabilized the demonic power in its body. What was that thing just now? The Black Turtle King was most confident in his body's defense. Normal level 2 Defiant Beast Kings would have a hard time breaking through his defense, but Yi Chunfeng's chaos energy had easily penetrated his body. He looked like he had seen a ghost. Chaos energy continued to attack. In order to kill the Black Tortoise King, Yi Chunfeng shot out another strand of chaotic force. It tore through space and flew towards the Black Tortoise King, whose expression changed greatly. The chaotic force flew over. The Black Turtle King hurriedly controlled his hardest turtle shell to block in front of him, blocking the chaotic force attack. Pooh! With a piercing sound, the hairy chaotic force ignored the Black Turtle King's shell and directly pierced through its body. It blasted another bloody hole in its colossal body, heavily injuring its body. Roar! You bastard! This king will definitely tear you apart. The Black Tortoise King, whose body had been severely injured and whose strength had been greatly affected, fell into a frenzy. Rolling demonic energy and purple spiritual lightning surged into the silver spear, interweaving into streaks of snake-like purple lightning spear light, piercing towards Yi Chunfeng. Just as Yi Chunfeng's body was about to be pierced by the Black Turtle King's purple lightning spear light, the sword spirit puppet appeared in time and blocked in front of Yi Chunfeng, helping him dissolve the attack. Using the sword puppet's protection, Yi Chunfeng soared into the sky. A slaughter halo was projected behind him, doubling his attack power. His perfect sword aura quickly deduced the Grand Dao's power. 7 Sword of Judgment, Extreme Cold. Yi Chunfeng roared. The Grand Dao's power turned into an extreme cold sword aura. Like a meteor, it pierced through the vast sky and heavily bombarded the heavily injured Black Tortoise King's body. Its reaction speed was greatly affected, and it was blown away. Bloody fragments of its innards were spat out of its mouth. With its injuries worsening, the Black Tortoise King had the intention to retreat. It planned to force Yi Chunfeng back and escape from this place first. When it recovered in the future, it would slowly settle the score with Yi Chunfeng. Extreme purple lightning, destroy everything. The Black Tortoise King opened its mouth, and the extreme purple lightning shot out. It turned into an endless amount of violent lightning in front of Yi Chunfeng, wanting to force him back. Beast Soul Form. Facing the attack of the extreme purple lightning, Yi Chunfeng immediately transformed into his strongest battle form. Borrowing the defensive power of the Blood Dragon Scale, he took on the extreme purple lightning's killing blow head-on. Break! Yi Chunfeng slashed out with his sword. The gigantic Fault Heavenly Sword filled with 600,000 pounds of force tore apart the ferocious extreme purple lightning. water, and fire whirlpool. The profound cold water and the green spirit fire gushed out of his body, forming a water and fire whirlpool that devoured the Black Tortoise King's wounded body. When the Black Tortoise King relied on its strength to tear apart the water and fire whirlpool, Yi Chuanfeng and the sword puppet attacked it one after another. They attacked its body with all of their strength, worsening its injuries. A large amount of blood flowed out of its body, forming streams of blood below the Black Tortoise King's body. Yi Chuanfeng, this king will remember this enmity. Next time, this king will definitely return it tenfold. With its injuries getting worse and worse, the Black Tortoise King knew that if it didn't leave this place now, it would be very dangerous. After leaving behind these words, it used all of its strength to break out. Black Tortoise King, do you think you still have a chance to leave today? Yi Chuanfeng sneered and ordered the sword puppet to use all of its strength to stop the Black Tortoise King. It relied on its invincible defense to slow down the Black Tortoise King's breakout speed. As for himself, he used the titanic sword to continuously attack the Black Tortoise King's severe injuries, destroying its vitality. After transforming into his Beast Soul form, Yi Chuanfeng's attack power was infinitely close to that of a level 1 reverse Beast King, causing fatal injuries to the Black Tortoise King. After a round of fierce attacks, the Black Tortoise King's huge body became a bloody mess. The severe injuries on its body caused it to only be able to use about 30% of its strength. It was no longer a threat to Yi Chuanfeng in his Beast Soul form. Star Slaying, Slaughter, Remnant Blood. Yi Chuanfeng repeatedly used the first 3 moves of the 4 slaughter styles, and together with the sword puppet, they attacked the Black Tortoise King and forced it to retreat. Because of its heavy injuries, the Black Tortoise King could no longer maintain its strongest battle form and return to its original form. Black Tortoise King, your momentum is gone. Don't make any more useless struggles. Looking at the Black Tortoise King that was bleeding and extremely weak, Yi Chuanfeng became more and more courageous as he fought. He wanted to kill in one go. The Black Tortoise King's vitality was getting weaker and weaker. Its internal organs were being torn apart by Yi Chuanfeng's fierce attacks, and its consciousness was getting more and more blurry. Never in its wildest dreams would it have imagined that it would end up in such a state, having its life force destroyed by an extremely weak human in its eyes. Bastard, die with me. Knowing that its vitality was gone, the Black Tortoise King roared and was about to detonate its beast core and perish together with Yi Chuanfeng. You want to self-detonate? Not so easy. The moment the Black Tortoise King self-detonated, the last 2 streaks of primal chaos force that the primal chaos divine would nurtured flew out at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye, shooting towards the Black Tortoise King's head. Due to its severe injuries, the Black Tortoise King's reaction speed was greatly affected, and it was unable to dodge the 2 streaks of primal chaos force. Boom! Boom! 2 loud sounds. The Black Tortoise King's head was continuously attacked by the primal chaos force, and its soul was also torn apart by the 2 streaks of primal chaos force. Pump! With a sound, the Black Tortoise King's huge body fell to the ground. A large amount of blood sprayed out from the hole in its head like a fountain, instantly converging into a blood river. Chapter 250. Phew, I finally killed the mysterious Turtle King. Yi Chuanfeng let out a long sigh of relief as he looked at the mysterious Turtle King's corpse lying in a pool of blood. In order to kill the mysterious Turtle King, the sword puppet had used up almost all of its energy, and he almost couldn't bear the high consumption. Primal Chaos Divine would devour the purple thunder. Yi Chuanfeng wielded the titanic fault heavenly sword and cut open the Black Turtle King's body. He summoned the Chaos Divine wood and controlled it to devour the purple thunder inside the turtle's body. With the mysterious Turtle King dead, the purple thunder had become an ownerless object. Coupled with the primal Chaos Divine wood's complete suppression, the rampaging purple thunder was quickly devoured by the primal Chaos Divine wood. After devouring the purple spirit lightning, Yi Chuanfeng immediately dug out the mystic Turtle King's Yao core and heart. He also cut off the turtle shell that even a peerless king would not be able to break through. He also put away the earth tool inside its body into his yin and yang ring. Profound frost spirit water. Ancient frost spirit water fuse. After dissecting the mysterious Turtle King's body, Yi Chen-feng immediately controlled the primal chaos divine wood to fuse the two spirit waters. Although this was a bold and difficult move, with the help of the primal chaos divine wood, the two spirit waters slowly fused together. After about a day, the two spirit waters had completely fused together, forming a crystal-like ice within the primal chaos divine wood. The spiritual energy contained within this ice far surpassed the spirit water of heaven and earth, infinitely close to the level of heavenly water. Looking at the powerful ice within the primal chaos divine wood, Yi Chen-feng revealed a faint smile. I'll call you ancient frost spirit eyes from now on. After storing the primal chaos divine wood, Yi Chen-feng's strength improved again. At this time, Yi Chen-feng felt that although he couldn't defeat a rank 1 Defiant Beast King, he should be able to put up a fight. I wonder how many treasures are left here. Because the Ghost King had been hiding in the treasure trove, Yi Chen-feng didn't have much hope for this place. When he released his powerful soul power and covered the ruined stone hall, he found an yin and yang ring in the rubble. Apart from that, he didn't find anything valuable. Yes, this is the Ghost King's bursting pearl. Yi Chen-feng forcibly broke open the restriction on the ring. When he checked the treasures inside, he found two extremely precious Ghost King bursting pearls. Apart from the Ghost King's exploding pearl, which was enough to heavily injure a peerless king, Yi Chen-feng had also obtained 10 sky thunder grasses, 11 earth grade soul cores, and a large number of soul crystals. Although there were more than 100 million soul crystals in the interspatial ring, almost all of them were low-grade soul crystals. There were only 130,000 mid-grade soul crystals, which Yi Chen-feng fused into the sword puppet. I wonder how Nick Hang is doing. Did she return to 3 Stars Island? Yi Chen-feng was very worried about Yunichang's safety. Without wasting any time, he swiftly left the ruins of the Heavenly Ghost Sect's treasury and rushed back to the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance on 3 Stars Island. While Yi Chen-feng was rushing to the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance, the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance was in great danger. The Celestial Star Merchant Alliance's Alliance Master Xing Wudao and the Solitary Cloud Merchant Alliance's Alliance Master Gu Danyan had received a transmission talisman from Xing Yun and Gu Tianxing, so they immediately led their experts to the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance. They wanted to defeat the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance in one fell swoop, devour its territory, and divide its wealth. Grand Elder, what should we do? Mo Yin watched as the ancient array formation violently trembled under the attack. Deep worry appeared on her face. The Celestial Star Merchant Alliance and the Solitary Cloud Merchant Alliance suddenly attacked us. Something must have happened to the 2 people you invited. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to attack us. Grand Elder Mook Gu, who had already recovered from his injuries, said with a gloomy expression, "Something happened to Chen-feng. That won't happen. I believe that Chen-feng will be fine." Thinking of Yi Chen-feng's heaven-defying performance and the great secret he was hiding, Emoyan bit her pale lips and said, "I admit that young man's talent and strength are terrifying, but no matter how strong he is, can he be stronger than the Black Turtle King and the Black Devil? The underwater cave is extremely dangerous. With his strength, there's almost no chance of survival. We should think about how to get through this crisis. If we can't get through this, our ancient Ink Merchant Alliance will be in danger of being exterminated." Mook Gu's face was grave. "Grand Elder, do you have any good ideas?" Elder May glanced at the pale Moen and gently sighed in her heart as she asked. Her face was devoid of blood. Mook Gu took a deep breath and said, "I'll go out and negotiate with them. If their demands aren't too excessive, I'll try my best to agree." "All right, that's all we can do now." Elder May sighed helplessly. The ancient Ink Merchant Alliance had undergone a great change, and its strength was not as strong as before. It was unable to intimidate the other 2 merchant alliances. Helpless, Mook Gu left the ancient formation alone to negotiate with Xing Wudao and Gu Danyan. "Elder May, do do you think something really happened to Chung Feng? Mo Yin's heart was in a mess, and her eyes were filled with tears. She gently grabbed Elder May's arm, unable to accept the fact that something had happened to Yi Chunfeng. I think that the two merchant alliances must have received news that Yi Chunfeng and the others have met with an accident. Elder May gently hugged Mo Yin and said in a soft voice, "Something has happened. Something has really happened." Mo Yin bit her lips, Elder May's words constantly echoing in her ears. Two lines of tears flowed down from the corners of her eyes, staining her beautiful face. "Yin, that Yi Chunfeng doesn't belong to us. Don't be too sad. Think about how to get through this crisis." Elder May gently patted Mo Yin's head, comforting her. About half an hour later, Mook Gu stumbled back into the ancient formation with blood dripping from the corners of his mouth. "Grand Elder, you're injured." Elder May discovered that Mook Gu's injuries were heavy, and his breathing was chaotic. She immediately went to greet him. "I'm fine." Mook Gu took a deep breath, suppressing the surging blood in his body. His complexion was gloomy. "Grand Elder, what did they say?" Mo Yin knew that now wasn't the time to be sentimental. She forcibly suppressed the sadness in her heart and asked, "The two merchant alliances want to annex my ancient ink merchant alliance. If we don't agree, they will wash this place with blood." Mook Gu said in a low voice, "Impossible. I won't agree even if I die." Mo Yin clenched her fists, a resolute expression on her beautiful face as she rejected. "Grand Elder, is there no room for negotiation?" Elder May asked. She knew that with the current strength of the ancient ink merchant alliance, they simply couldn't contend with the two merchant alliances. "No." Mook Gu shook his head, powerlessly saying, "Grand Elder, if we force our way out, what do you think our chances are?" Mo Yin took a deep breath and asked, "Xing Wu Dao and Gu Danyun are second-level profound beast sect masters. The two merchant alliances have no lack of masters. With my ancient ink merchant alliance's strength, we only have a 10% chance of breaking out. Moreover, the casualties will be disastrous." Mook Gu said in a low voice, 10% chance. Mo Yin's eyes flashed with a resolute light. She said, "No matter what, we cannot sit here and wait for death. My ancient ink merchant alliance's thousands of years of inheritance cannot be taken away by them." Chapter 251. Alliance Master Xing. "Do you think the ancient ink business alliance will obediently let us annex them?" Gu Danyun, who was wearing a black robe with golden edges, walked over to Xing Wu Dao, who had a gloomy expression. His eyes shone with light as he asked in a low voice, "Humph, the ancient ink business alliance naturally won't obediently let us annex them, but in the face of absolute power, they won't be able to do anything. They won't be able to cause any big waves. In 6 days at most, the ancient ink business alliance's ancient formation will be broken. At that time, I will cause chaos in the ancient ink business alliance and make them disappear from Three-Star Island." Xing Wu Dao wanted to vent all the humiliation that Yi Chunfeng had brought upon him on the ancient ink business alliance. He wanted to use their blood to wash away his humiliation and vent the hatred in his heart. "Alliance Master Xing, I'm more interested in that Mo Yin. How about you give her to me after the ancient ink business alliance is broken?" Thinking of Mo Yin's beautiful face, hot body, and unique temperament, Gu Danyun's heart was on fire. "Sure, but the Celestial Star Business Alliance wants 60% of the ancient ink business alliance's wealth." Xing Wu Dao demanded an exorbitant price. "All right, deal." Gu Danyun pondered for a moment before nodding in agreement. Days passed. Under the attacks of the experts of the two major business alliances, the ancient formation that enveloped the ancient ink business alliance began to tremble violently. Fine cracks appeared on the surface of the ancient formation. Just as the ancient formation was about to break, 8 ancient ink business alliance loyalists suddenly charged out of the ancient formation. They ignored the ferocious attacks of the experts of the two major business alliances and rapidly approached them. Boom, boom, boom. When the 8 loyalists of the ancient ink business alliance were torn apart by waves of violent attacks, 8 shocking explosive forces erupted from their shattered bodies. They swept towards the experts of the two major business alliances like a volcanic eruption, scaring them into dodging in panic. Seizing this opportunity, the experts of the ancient Ink Business Alliance, led by Mo Gu, Mo Yuyin, and the others, charged out of the ancient formation. Taking advantage of the chaos of the two major business alliances, they quickly broke out of the encirclement. Mo Gu, Mo Yuyin, do you think I'll let you leave at this time? Seeing Mo Yuyin and the others trying their best to break through the encirclement, Xing Wudao's eyes were filled with killing intent. A ferocious shark appeared around him, increasing his strength. Members of the Celestial Merchant Union, listen up. Do your best to kill the members of the Ancient Ink Merchant Union. I will reward those who contribute greatly. Xing Wudao made a promise in front of everyone, encouraging the members of the Celestial Merchant Union to fight. At the same time, Gu Danyan incessantly encouraged the experts of the Solitary Cloud Business Alliance to go all out to kill Mo Yuyin and the others. Just as Mo Yuyin and the others were surrounded by the experts of the two merchant alliances, another 8 fearless death warriors charged into the midst of the experts of the two merchant alliances. They detonated the self-exploding stones on their bodies, dealing a fatal blow to the two merchant alliances. Boom, boom, boom. A series of deafening explosions resounded. Caught off guard, the experts of the two great merchant alliances suffered heavy casualties. More than 10 experts were killed on the spot, and many others were blown away or severely injured. Don't hesitate. Break through with all your strength. Using the death warriors hidden in the crowd, Mook Gu, Mo Yuyin, and the others immediately led the experts of the Ancient Ink Merchant Union to break through the encirclement. They wanted to break through the obstruction of the two merchant alliances and reach the harbor, leaving 3 Stars Island. Stay here for me. Meteor C. Seeing the experts of the two merchant alliances being blown up by the death warriors of the Ancient Ink Merchant Union, Xing Wudao was enraged. With a shout, he grasped a mid-grade Earth-rank spear and used a fierce soul skill to attack the leader, Mook Gu. Boundless Sea. Xing Wudao's spear was like a meteor, but Mook Gu used a jet-black saber to meet it. He continuously slashed out saber after saber, like a surging sea, sweeping away Xing Wudao's offensive. Although they were both second-rank profound B-sect experts, Mook Gu was stronger than Xing Wudao. Facing Mook Gu's Boundless Sea attack, Xing Wudao's offensive was completely restrained. Alliance Master Gu, don't worry about them. Help me kill Mook Gu first. With the pressure multiplying, Xing Wudao immediately shouted at Gu Danyan. Hearing Xing Wudao's cry for help, the second-rank profound B-sect expert Gu Danyan pushed back Elder Mei and the others with a single sword strike. His figure flashed and appeared beside Xing Wudao, interweaving sharp sword lights that continuously attacked Mook Gu. With Gu Danyan's help, the pressure on Xing Wudao was greatly reduced. With the two of them cooperating, they immediately suppressed Mook Gu's fierce offensive, forcing him to retreat again and again. Yuyin, don't worry about me. Quickly break through and leave this place. In this dangerous situation, Mook Gu didn't care about his own safety. He shouted at Mo Yuyin, Elder Mei, and the others. Grand Elder, take care of yourself. Mo Yuyin cried as she looked at Mook Gu, who was covered in blood and in danger. She burned all the blood in her body and led the experts of the Ancient Ink Merchant Union to break out of the encirclement. Unfortunately, the two merchant unions had too many experts. They completely sealed off Mo Yuyin and the others' escape route, trapping them outside the Ancient Ink Merchant Union. They couldn't break out and leave. At this moment, the last 6 men of sacrifice who were mixed in the crowd rushed out fearlessly. They charged at the experts of the two merchant alliances who were heavily surrounded at an extremely fast speed. They detonated several self-exploding stones on their bodies and launched a fatal attack on the two merchant alliances. Although the experts of the two merchant unions were already prepared, the explosion of the 6 death warriors affected a large area. Many people died on the spot. The surging power of the explosion tore a hole in the heavy encirclement. Don't let them escape. Xing Wudao, who was attacking with all his strength, saw the death warriors of the ancient Ink Merchant Union tear through the encirclement of the two merchant unions. He shouted loudly, wanting to divert his attention to stop them. Blood Chi ignition! At this time, Mook Gu's eyes revealed a trace of determination. He completely ignited the blood chi in his body, increasing his strength to the greatest extent. He used all his strength to entangle Xing Wudao and Grand Elder Mei, not giving them a chance to chase after Mo Yuyin and the others. Old thing, since you want to die, we'll fulfill your wish. As Xing Wudao saw Mook Gu burn his blood vitality in order to protect Mo Yuyin and the others, he was infuriated. He no longer held back. Together with Gu Danyun, he unleashed a fierce killing move, bombarding Mook Gu's body. After a round of fierce attacks, Xing Wudao and Grand Elder Mei were both injured. But Mook Gu's body was pierced with several bloody holes. A massive amount of blood sprayed out, dyeing him red. Xing Wudao, Grand Elder Mei, since you want Ai's life, then you'll accompany Ai to the Yellow Springs. With his vitality broken, Mook Gu knew that he had no hope of surviving. He allowed the high-grade earth tools in their hands to pierce through his body as he rapidly approached them. Explode! Mook Gu roared. He detonated all the soul force in his body, creating a destructive force that bombarded the two. However, Xing Wudao and Grand Elder Mei were already prepared. The moment Mook Gu self-detonated, they abandoned their high-grade earth tools and dodged with all their strength. They were only slightly injured by the shockwaves. Highest Elder. As Mo Yin saw Mo Gu explode and die, she let out a sorrowful cry. 2 lines of tears flowed down from the corners of her eyes. Miss, don't be distracted. We cannot disappoint the highest Elder. We must break out of this encirclement and hold on to our ancient Ink Merchant Union's inheritance. Elder Mei anxiously said to Mo Yin. Seeing Mo Yin and the others using Mook Gu and the self-detonation of the Death Warriors to break out of the encirclement and approach the harbor, 2 shrill bird cries suddenly rang out. Chapter 252. It's the Grand Elder and the others. Xing Wudao and Xing Yun, who had consumed an Earth-rank soul pill to suppress their injuries, were overjoyed to see lonely Tianxing and Xing Yun return in time. Their eyes flashed with killing intent. In their view, solitary Tianxing and Xing Yun's return was the same as announcing the death of the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance. They had no chance of escaping. Young miss, what should we do? When Elder Mei saw Gu, Tianxing, and Mo Yin disembark from the 2 flying spirit beasts, she was at a loss for what to do. She looked at the pale-faced Mo Yin, who was panicking inside, and asked for her opinion. Mo Yin bit her pale lips and said resolutely, even if there's a glimmer of hope, we can't give up. We must continue to break through. All of you stop. Contrary to everyone's expectations, Xing Yun and solitary Tianxing, who had returned in time, didn't attack Mo Yin and Xing Yun. Instead, they ordered the 2 Merchant Alliance members to stop. Grand Elder, why are you the only ones back? Where are my father and the others? Xing Wudao, who was covered in blood, asked when he saw that only Xing Yun and solitary Tianxing had returned. None of the others had returned. We'll talk when we get back. Xing Yun glanced at Mo Yin and the others and said in a low voice, Go back. Xing Wudao raised an eyebrow and looked at Xing Yun in disbelief. Grand Elder, are you really going to let them go? Letting a tiger return to the mountain will cause endless trouble in the future. Say no more. All of you come back with me. Although Xing Yun also wanted to eliminate the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance and take over its territory, he was more afraid of Yi Qinfeng. If Yi Qinfeng really escaped the Black Turtle King's pursuit and returned to the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance, he would bring calamity to the Celestial Star Merchant Alliance, and he wouldn't be able to escape death. Grand Elder, is that person still alive? Xing Wudao asked in a low voice. Seeing Xing Yun's gloomy face and sensing his worries, the clever Xing Wudao immediately guessed the reason. Yes, that Yi Qinfeng isn't dead. Yi Qinfeng was only a heavenly beast immortal, but he had used the Emperor-level divine ability to transform into a beast spirit and stood in front of the Black Tortoise King. This scene had deeply shaken the hearts of Xing Yun and Yi Chenfeng, causing them to feel apprehensive and fearful. He's really not dead. After learning that Yi Chenfeng hadn't died, Xing Wudao's expression changed. He panicked and hurriedly said, "Grand Elder, we've already shed all pretense of cordiality with the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance. Mukgu even died protecting them. Our enmity with the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance is irreconcilable." "What? Mukgu is dead?" Xing Yun's expression changed slightly. He immediately cast his eyes on Gu Tianxing and sent a voice transmission. "Brother Gu, what do you think we should do? Things have developed beyond our control. That Yi Chenfeng is not simple. The Black Tortoise King is most likely unable to kill him." Gu Tianxing took a deep breath and transmitted his voice with a solemn expression. "I suggest that we control Mo Yin first and deal with any changes by sticking to the status quo. If that Yi Chenfeng is really killed, that would be for the best. If he returns safely, then we can use Mo Yin's life as a bargaining chip to make him hesitate and buy us time to escape." "All right, let's do that." Xing Yun nodded and immediately cast his gaze on Mo Yin and the others, who were staring at him as if they were facing a great enemy. He said in a low voice, "Mo Yin, our two merchant alliances don't want to start massacre. If you're willing to return to the Celestial Merchant Alliance with me, I'll let them go and let them go." "Really?" Mo Yin looked at Xing Yun and Elder May's gloomy faces and asked doubtfully, "What's the point of lying to you in this situation?" Xing Yun asked back, "All right, I'll go with you." Although Mo Yin knew that returning to the Celestial Merchant Alliance with Xing Yun bodes ill, she couldn't bear to see Elder May and the others lose their lives. She tightly bit her pale lips and said, "No, young miss, you can't go with them. You'll be ruined by them." Elder May tightly grabbed Mo Yin's arm and said, "Elder May, I have no other choice. I can't watch anything happen to you." Mo Yin's beautiful face revealed a sad smile. She seemed to have accepted her fate. Her pitiful appearance was very pitiful. "Elder May is right. You can't go with them." Just as Mo Yin had accepted her fate and was about to leave with Nebula and the others, a pillar of water shot up into the sky and exploded on the surface of the sea. Wearing a red dress, moon raiment, with a voluptuous figure and slender legs, jumped out of the sea and landed on the harbor. Eunuch Hang, seeing the moon raiment appear at the harbor after being teleported away by the teleportation stone, Xing Yun and Gu Tianxing's hearts tightened. They immediately looked around to see if Yi Chenfeng had returned. "Young miss you." When Mo Yin saw Eunuch Hang suddenly appear, her despairing face was filled with joy. If Eunuch Hang was fine, then Yi Chenfeng was most likely fine as well. Mo Yin was so emotional that tears filled her eyes. "There's no need to look. If Chenfeng returns, do you think he'll still let you live?" Yu Raiment quickly appeared beside Mo Yin. She coldly looked at the ugly expressions of Xing Yun and Mo Yin. "Brother Gu, what do you think we should do?" Yu Nichang's appearance had completely disrupted their plans. Xing Yun had no choice but to ask the resourceful Gu Tianxing. "This Mo Yin must be captured. If we can capture Eunuch Hang, then it'll be even better. Even if Yi Chenfeng returns, we won't have to be afraid of him." Gu Tianxing viciously said. Thinking about the relationship between Eunuch Hang and Yi Chenfeng, Xing Yun nodded and replied, "All right, then let's attack Eunuch Hang together and let Wu Dao and the others capture her." "Miss you. Why didn't Chenfeng come back with you?" Mo Yin looked at Yu Nichang's charming face and asked somewhat emotionally. "Chenfeng should be back soon," Eunuch Hang coldly said. She didn't tell Mo Yin about Yi Chenfeng's true situation. While speaking, Eunuch Hang suddenly felt a strong, killing intent coming from Xing Yun and Gu Tianxing. Her pitch-black pupils immediately shrank into the most dangerous pinholes. She coldly said, "What? You want to fight? Do you know the consequences of fighting?" "Eunuch Hang, do you really think Yi Chenfeng can come back? Being chased by the Black Turtle King, he's dead for sure." Xing Yun coldly said, "I advise you to be smart. That way, you'll suffer less. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite." After obtaining a great opportunity in the underwater cave, Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing both broke through to the 5th level of Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm. They didn't put the 4th level Yu Nikhang in their eyes. You guys back off. Leave them to me. Yu Nichang's expression sank. The three-tailed ice fox appeared around her body. A strong wave of soul power spread out from her fiery body. Although Yu Nichang's cultivation was lower than Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing's, she had cultivated the bone-tempering realm to the Great Circle in the underwater cave. Her physical strength had reached an astonishing 500,000 jin. In addition to the frigid wood and autumn water that Yi Chanfeng gave her, she wasn't afraid of Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing. Since you don't know what's good for you, then don't blame us for being impolite. Chapter 253. 500,000 jin of strength explode. Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing's powerful soul skills tore through the air. Yu Nikhang immediately circulated her 6 meridians divine shield, and 500,000 jin of strength erupted from her body. Surging soul power and 550,000 kilograms of strength were injected into the glacial wood and autumn water, and a layer of red light immediately appeared on their surfaces. It was as if they were blood red, and they faced the soul skills unleashed by Xing Yun's duo. Rumble. The 3 soul skills collided, and boundless energy swept out in all directions. The violent energy caused some of the weaker disciples of the 3 merchant unions to retreat. They couldn't withstand the terrifying pressure. Limitless Moon Water Sword break. Yu Nikhang took a step back and immediately stabilized herself. 2 limitless Moon Water Swords sliced through the energy storm, carrying astonishing destructive power as they slashed towards Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing. The fierce attack forced the 2 of them back, and the blood in their bodies roiled violently. How is this possible? How can she be so strong? Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing were confident that they could even fight a 6th-rank Mystic Beast Ancestor if they worked together. However, Yu Nikhang was a 4th-rank Mystic Beast Ancestor, and yet they were beaten back by her. What are you 2 standing there for? Kill everyone except for Mo Yuyan. Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing ordered loudly. Now that they had shed all pretense of cordiality, they no longer had any reservations. Kill anyone who dares to come close. Yu Nichang's voluptuous body exuded a terrifying aura. She was like a domineering war goddess, holding frigid wood and autumn water in her hands as she glared at her enemies. Heavenly lightning spear art, solitary cloud saber art. Xing Yun and Gu Tianqing forcefully suppressed the surging aura in their bodies and used their soul skills to bombard Yu Nikhang again. They wanted to tie her down and create an opportunity for Xing Wudao and the others to capture Mo Yuyan. 500,000 jin of strength break. Solitary Tianqing's duo unleashed their powerful soul skills, but Mo Yuyan continued to unleash her powerful physical strength. She wielded her frigid wood and autumn water to meet them head-on. Although these 2 swords didn't unleash any soul skills, they were imbued with 550,000 kilograms of strength. The frightening sword shadows pierced through the 2 soul skills like a hot knife through butter and pierced towards their chests with unstoppable force. Just as the 2 of them were about to dodge, Yu Nikhang used the last 2 shadowy golden needle talismans, which turned into a large number of golden needles and attacked their souls. Xing Yun and lonely Tianqing immediately felt as if their heads were being pierced by needles. Their souls were riddled with holes by the 2 talismans, and large amounts of blood flowed out of their 7 orifices. The shadow-transforming golden needle talisman pierced through their souls. Starcloud's and lonely Tianqing's reactions were slightly delayed. The 2 sharp sword lights pierced through their defenses and punctured a bloody hole in their chests. Blood spurted out uncontrollably. After using the shadow-transforming golden needle talisman to heavily injure Xing Yun and Xing Wudao, Yu Rising didn't follow up with another attack. Instead, she quickly turned around and stood in front of Mo Yuyan and the others, forcing Xing Wudao and the others to retreat. Attack together. Whoever injures her will be heavily rewarded. With both their bodies and souls injured, Xing Yun and lonely Tianqing's strength was greatly reduced. Xing Yun commanded the experts of the two merchant alliances to attack Yu Nikhang together. If you're not afraid of death, then attack. I guarantee you won't live to see tomorrow's sun. Yu Nikhang didn't have the slightest trace of fear on her face. What are you all standing around for? I'll kill whoever doesn't attack. Seeing that the experts of the two merchant unions were intimidated by the moon raiment, Xing Yun was enraged and ordered ferociously. Under the threat of Xing Yun and Lonely Tianqing's terrifying killing intent, the two merchant alliances had no choice but to attack. A large number of soul skills surged like a tidal wave, causing space to tremble violently as they bombarded Yu Nikhang. 100 crystal cold jade talisman. Although Yu Nikhang had enough time to dodge, if she did, Emo, Yu Yin, and the others behind her would suffer. Left with no choice, she quickly crushed 200 crystal cold jade talismans, forming 2 layers of cold crystal light barriers in front of her to block the incoming soul skills. Boom, boom, boom. A series of deafening explosions rang out. The powerful force of the explosions caused cracks to appear all over the cold crystal light barriers. Spiderweb-like cracks appeared on the hard ground and spread out continuously. 500,000 gene of strength break. Just as the 2 cold crystal light barriers were about to break, the 3-tailed ice fox appeared behind her. Her 500,000 gene of strength exploded out. Frigid wood and limpid water shone with a sharp light. Boundless aqua moon sword. Strength and soul power intertwined. The sharp double sword light slashed out recklessly, cutting through the weakened soul skills and bombarding the two merchant alliances experts. Miserable screams rang out one after another. Under the attack of Yu Nichang's boundless aquamoon sword, more than 10 experts were shredded to pieces by the sharp sword light. Blood and broken limbs scattered across the ground. Heavenly lightning spear art. Ancient cloud sword art. Seizing the opportunity when Yu Nikhang was going all out to counterattack, Xing Yun and Lonely Tianqing attacked at the same time. 2 powerful soul skills bombarded Yu Nikhang in succession, breaking through the cold crystal light barrier and injuring Yu Nichang's body. A stream of blood uncontrollably sprayed out of her mouth and splattered onto the ground. She's already injured. Let's attack together. Xing Wudao saw that Yu Nichang's pale face was not light. He immediately rallied everyone's fighting spirit and attacked Yu Nikhang with all their might, wanting to injure her in one go. Disciples of the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance, listen up. Counterattack with all your might. Mo Yin saw that Yu Nikhang was injured by Xing Yun and Lonely Tianqing, and immediately led the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance's experts to counterattack. An intense battle broke out at the harbor. In an instant, the scene was chaotic, and people were dying in the chaos. Mo Yin, quickly take your people and retreat. Don't get involved. Yu Nikhang, who was fighting a bloody battle, saw that the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance's experts were completely suppressed, and people were dying constantly. But, retreat if you don't want to die. Yu Nikhang shouted under the heavy pressure of resisting the attacks of Lonely Tianqing, Xing Yun, Xing Wudao, and Gu Danyun by herself. Elder Mei, Elder Hong, Protector Shi, you guys help Miss Yu fend off the enemies. The rest, retreat with me. Mo Yin knew that she could not be of much help. She bit her lip and gave the order. However, the overall strength of the two merchant alliances was too strong. Elder Mei and the others, who were rank 6 heavenly beast immortals, could not help Yu Nikhang at all. Their attacks were quickly suppressed. Blood Chi ignition. With her attacks suppressed by Lonely Tianqing and the others, Yu Nikhang gritted her teeth and quickly ignited all the blood chi in her body. She raised her strength to the greatest extent and created a series of sharp sword shadows to resist the attacks of the 4. Yu Nikhang ignited her blood chi and began to fight with all her might. Lonely Tianqing, Xing Yun, and the others also ignited their blood chi to increase their strength. They used all their strength to suppress her attacks, wanting to injure her severely. As time passed, Yu Nichang's injuries began to worsen. This made her want to retreat. Yu Nikhang, you've lost your advantage. Just surrender obediently. Feeling that Yu Nichang's attacks were getting weaker and weaker, Lonely Tianxing and the others were relieved. They shouted crazily, wanting to injure her in one go. Chapter 254. Xingyun, Gu Tianxing, you're courting death. The golden rock's wings flapped fiercely, creating gusts of wind. Yi Chunfeng, who was flying high in the sky, saw Nikhang being surrounded by Gu Tianxing's group of 4. He was immediately enraged and let out a thunderous roar. Yi Chunfeng, he's back. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's angry roar, Xingyun, Gu Tianxing, and the others' expressions changed. They were terrified and gave up on attacking Nikhang, trying to think of a way to deal with it. The people from the 2 merchant alliances were also intimidated by Yi Chunfeng's roar. They all retreated and stopped attacking. Chunfeng, the heavens are protecting him. He's really fine and has returned safely. And Mo Yuyin, who had dodged far away, saw Yi Chunfeng turn into a ray of light and quickly flew over. She was so moved that tears flowed down her cheeks. Her hanging heart finally calmed down. Nikhang, quickly heal your injuries. Leave them to me. I will make them pay the price. Yi Chunfeng quickly appeared beside Nikhang, who was riddled with scars. He stuffed an earth-level soul pill into her red little mouth and spoke with killing intent. Okay. Nikhang discovered that Yi Chunfeng had broken through to the first level of Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm. Her pale face revealed a charming smile as she obediently stood to the side. Yi Chunfeng, you actually escaped the Mystic Turtle King's pursuit. After thinking about it, Gu Tianxing could only think of using the Mystic Turtle King to intimidate Yi Chunfeng. Only then would he have a chance of survival. What? You want to use that turtle to intimidate me? Yi Chunfeng saw through Gu Tianxing's intentions. He revealed a cold smile and said, but it's a pity that I killed that bastard. What? You killed the Mystic Turtle King? Gu Tianxing and the others widened their eyes and mouths. They looked at Yi Chunfeng in horror, not daring to believe what they had just heard. The Black Tortoise King is dead. They couldn't believe that the Black Tortoise King, who had crossed the lightning tribulation and broken through to the 4th level of the heavenly beast realm, was actually killed by Yi Chunfeng. At this moment, the fear that Lonely Sky and the others had been suppressing erupted from their bodies like a volcano, occupying their faces. Their bodies began to tremble uncontrollably. How are you going to die? Yi Chunfeng asked coldly as he looked at the pale faces of Lonely Tianxing and the others. Young Master Yi, so it's all our fault. We're willing to give the 2 merchant unions to Young Master. We only hope that Young Master can let us go and give us a way out. Sensing Yi Chunfeng's killing intent and thinking about how he had killed the Black Turtle King, Lonely Sky and the others felt their hearts plummet. They looked at Yi Chunfeng in fear and begged Yi Chunfeng to spare them. All right, I'll give you a chance to live. If the 4 of you can withstand one move from me, I'll let you go. But if you can't, then don't blame me for not giving you a chance when you die. Yi Chunfeng put his hands behind his back and said arrogantly. After he finished speaking, his killing intent erupted like a volcano. His entire person was like an unsheathed sword, incomparably sharp and unrivaled. Young Master Yi, we really know our wrongs. Please let us go. Thinking back to how Yi Chunfeng had pierced through the demon-killing formation and instantly killed the level 6 black demon, Xingyun and Lonely Tianxing couldn't summon any thoughts of resistance. At this moment, their hearts were filled with regret. They regretted that they had been blinded by greed. Before the situation was clear, they had blindly annexed the ancient Ink Merchant Union. If it hadn't been for this ridiculous action, there might have been a chance to ease the situation. I'll count to 10. If you give up resisting, then I'll send you to the afterlife. Yi Chunfeng looked at Lonely Tianxing and the others who were begging for mercy. He was unmoved and emotionless. Young Master Yi 1, 2, 3. Hearing that Yi Chunfeng had started counting, Lonely Tianxing and the others knew that there was no room for reconciliation. They gritted their teeth and quickly gathered together. They burned their qi and blood to increase their strength, resisting Yi Chunfeng's attack with all their might. 10. As soon as he said that, the terrifying 2-headed blood dragon king emerged from Yi Chunfeng's body and soared into the sky. A terrifying dragon aura swept across the surroundings, impacting everyone's hearts. Many heavenly beast immortal experts couldn't withstand the dragon aura released by the two-headed blood dragon king. They were so frightened that their legs went soft, and they directly collapsed to the ground. Two-headed blood dragon. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's spiritual beast, Mo Yuyin was completely stunned. She couldn't imagine what kind of opportunity Yi Chunfeng had in the underwater cave abode to mutate the blood dragon and reach such a level of strength. Slaughtering Halo. After fusing with the two-headed blood dragon king, Yi Chunfeng's strength instantly reached the peak of level 6 mystic beast ancestor. Following that, he condensed a killing halo, and the killing intent accumulated from fresh blood and bones blasted into the bodies of Gu Tianxing and the others, causing their souls to tremble. They could smell the scent of death. Eternal Night. Yi Chunfeng's attack power had reached its limit. He roared, and 650,000 gene of strength and perfect sword force fused into the titanic Fault Heavenly Sword. A black sword ray that stole all the light in the surroundings shot out, tearing through the air and slashing towards Lonely Tianxing and the others who were attacking with all their strength. Kacha kacha! A series of shattering sounds rang out as the soul skills that Lonely Tianxing and the others had unleashed by burning their blood essence were shattered one after another. The Eternal Night sword tore through their attacks like a hot knife through butter, and the remaining power didn't diminish in the slightest as it continued to bombard them. It directly pierced through their bodies, turning them into 4 clouds of blood mist. They died on the spot. After witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng killing Lonely Tianxing and the others with a single sword strike, the members of the Celestial Star and Solitary Cloud Business Alliance were all dumbfounded. They no longer had any thoughts of resistance as they stared at Yi Chunfeng in fear, their bodies trembling. Yi Chunfeng looked at the frightened experts of the 2 merchant alliances and loudly announced, "From today onwards, there will be no more Solitary Cloud Business Alliance or Celestial Business Alliance on 3-Star Island. There will only be the Ancient Ink Business Alliance." Back then, Yi Chunfeng had promised to help the Ancient Ink Business Alliance unify 3-Star Island after returning from the underwater cave abode. Now that he had killed Lonely Tianxing and the others with a single sword strike, the 2 merchant alliances were completely convinced. No one dared to go against his orders. And with a single sentence, he had changed the situation on 3-Star Island, which had remained unchanged for thousands of years. Chingfeng, thank you. Thank you for saving us, and for helping my late grandfather and father fulfill their wish. Mo Yuyin, whose body was stained with blood and whose face was slightly pale, walked up to Yi Chunfeng and looked at him with a burning gaze as she spoke emotionally. Looking at Yi Chunfeng's chiseled side profile at such a close distance and feeling his domineering aura, Mo Yuyin felt that he was extremely charming at this moment. She couldn't help but be attracted to him, unable to extricate herself. "This is what I promised you. Naturally, I will do it," Yi Chunfeng said indifferently. "Let's go back and talk. I have something to give you." After taking control of the situation, Yi Chunfeng didn't stay for long. He had Elder Mei and the others clean up the mess and return to the Ancient Ink Business Alliance. Chapter 255. Yin, this is the demon killing formation I obtained from killing the Black Devil. I'm giving it to you. Once you refine this formation, even ordinary rank 6 mystic beasts won't be able to threaten you. Yi Chunfeng took out the demon killing formation he obtained from killing the Black Devil and gave it to Mo Yuyin. Although the demon killing formation was precious and powerful, it was useless to the current Yi Chunfeng. Now that Mo Yuyin had it, Yi Chunfeng could leave without worry. Chunfeng, thank you. Mo Yuyin knew that the demon killing formation was the Black Devil's #1 treasure. It was also his greatest reliance in the thousands of sea regions. After receiving the demon killing formation that had shrunk to the size of a palm, Mo Yuyin felt a sense of loss in her heart. She knew that Yi Chunfeng might be leaving soon. Yuyin, aside from this demon killing formation, here are 10 demon crystal bones without any demonic nature, 1 supreme great earth treasure, and 5 high great earth treasures. After giving away the demon killing formation, Yi Chanfeng took out the demon crystal bones, supreme grade earth treasures, and other items to give to Mo Yuyan. Chengfeng, are you leaving? Although the treasures given by Yi Chanfeng were enough to make others jealous, Mo Yuyan didn't smile. She looked at Yi Chanfeng affectionately and reluctantly asked, Yes, Nikhang and I are preparing to go to Slaughter City in the chaotic ocean. Yi Chanfeng nodded and didn't hide his whereabouts. Slaughter City. Mo Yuyan bit her moist lips and said, Chengfeng, I have a presumptuous request. Can you wait until my ancient ink merchant alliance completely unifies Three-Star Island before leaving? Okay. Yi Chanfeng nodded and happily agreed. The primal chaos divine would have devoured the extreme purple spiritual lightning, and Yi Chanfeng had obtained 10 sky thundergrasses. He also wanted to spend some time to try cultivating the second style of the Seven Sword Strikes, Thunder Devour. The night was like water, and a gentle moonlight poured down, sprinkling on the surface of the sea, a silvery patch. The fishing boats were like leaf boats, drifting on the surface of the sea. Although the entire Three Stars Island was in chaos, Yi Chanfeng and Yu Nichang's small courtyard was extremely quiet. After witnessing Yi Chanfeng's shocking strength, no one dared to disturb his rest. The Seven Swords of Judgment is indeed a mid-grade Dao skill. The difficulty of cultivating is simply too high. Breaking through to level 1 profound beast ancestor realm, Yi Chanfeng's strength advanced by leaps and bounds, but it was still extremely difficult to cultivate the Seven Swords of Judgment. Just as he covered his entire body with purple polarity spiritual lightning and immersed himself in cultivating the Seven Swords of Judgment, Mo Yuyan appeared outside Yi Chanfeng's door. She was wearing a white chiffon dress. Her figure was graceful, her waist was slender, and her legs were long and straight. Chengfeng, I have a matter to discuss with you. May I come in? Mo Yuyan gently knocked on the door and softly asked, Yuyan, why are you looking for me so late at night? Hearing Mo Yuyan's voice, Yi Chanfeng stopped cultivating, opened the door, and softly asked, Chengfeng, the power contained in this demon-killing array is too frightening. I can't refine it. Can you help me? Mo Yuyan looked at Yi Chanfeng with watery eyes and softly asked. Under the light, Mo Yuyan's delicate face was tinged with red. Her skin was white and delicate. Her body was emitting a unique charm and faint fragrance, which imperceptibly increased her charm. Come in. Yi Chanfeng shifted his gaze away from Mo Yuyan's alluring body. He led her into the room and closed the door. Yi Chanfeng gestured for Mo Yuyan to sit down and softly said, Yuyan, take out the demon-killing array and bind it with your blood. I will help you suppress the power of the demon-killing array. Mo Yuyan nodded and took out the demon-killing array. She gently bit her finger and pressed her blood-stained index finger into the demon-killing array. Woo-woo. A bone-chilling ghost cry resounded from the demon-killing array. Endless demonic chi was released, and like a big mouth, it tried to devour Mo Yuyan. Break! Seeing a large amount of demonic chi gushing out, Yi Chanfeng's perfect sword force gushed out from his body and shattered the demonic chi. Two-headed Blood Dragon King, suppress. In the next moment, the two-headed Blood Dragon King poured its soul force into the demon-killing array, forcibly suppressing the demonic chi and helping Mo Yuyan refine the demon-killing array. Time slowly passed. With Yi Chanfeng's help, the demon-killing array gradually merged with Mo Yuyan's blood and bound it with her blood. What a powerful force! After refining the demon-killing array, Mo Yuyan immediately felt its power. She didn't doubt that if she used her full strength, even a grade 6 mystic beast ancestor would have to avoid it. Chengfeng, thank you so much. If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have dared to imagine my fate. With a thought, Mo Yuyan stored the demon-killing array into her body. She looked at Yi Chanfeng affectionately and gratefully. Yuyan, you have also helped me a lot, so you don't have to take it to heart. Yi Chanfeng looked at Mo Yuyan's beautiful face and revealed a faint smile. He said, Okay, it's getting late. You should go back and rest. Chengfeng, I don't want you to leave. I'm afraid that if you leave, I won't be able to see you again. Mo Yin bit her moist lips and suddenly hugged Yi Chen-feng, nestling her head in his warm embrace. She was reluctant to part with him. Feeling the fiery softness in his embrace, Yi Chen-feng's heart swayed. But soon, with his firm martial heart, he dispelled the distracting thoughts in his mind. He said, "Yi Yin, I wholeheartedly pursue the peak of the martial path and the supreme Tao. I can't stay here forever. However, I promise you that I will definitely come back to see you again." "Really?" Mo Yin blinked her big, red eyes. She looked at Yi Chen-feng's serious face from close range and asked, "And I promise." Yi Chen-feng nodded and promised. "Thank you, Chen-feng." After receiving Yi Chen-feng's promise, Mo Yin smiled through her tears. Looking at Yi Chen-feng's handsome face, she suddenly became bold. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed Yi Chen-feng's lips, memorizing his taste. "Chen-feng, it's getting late. I'm going back now." Then, with a flushed face and a satisfied expression, Mo Yin didn't dare to look at Yi Chen-feng's complicated expression and quickly left. AI. Looking at Mo Yin's departing figure, Yi Chen-feng gently sighed. How could he not know that Mo Yin had feelings for him? He also didn't dislike the charming and decisive Mo Yin. However, he wholeheartedly pursued the peak of martial arts. He wouldn't let a woman distract him and affect his heart of martial arts. Therefore, he couldn't accept Mo Yin's feelings. "What's wrong? Mo Yin just left, and you're already distracted? What are you doing in the room behind my back?" Just as Mo Yin left, Yu Nikang walked in. She was wearing a long red dress. She had a voluptuous figure and a charming appearance. She was emitting a fatal charm from head to toe. She stared at Yi Chen-feng and said with an unkind expression, "What can we do?" Yi Chen-feng rubbed his nose and helplessly said, "Don't let your imagination run wild. Before reaching the peak of martial arts, I won't consider love affairs. I was just helping her refine the demon-killing array." "You really won't consider it? You won't even consider me?" Yu Nikang took a step closer. Her charming face was almost touching Yi Chen-feng's face as she slightly opened her sexy red lips. "Enough, Nikang. Don't tempt me anymore. I'm going out to cultivate." Feeling the fragrance coming from Yu Nichang's mouth and looking at her beautiful face, Yi Chen-feng felt a strange feeling in his heart. He bitterly smiled and said, "Oof, a guy with evil intentions but no guts." Chapter 256. Late at night, a cold moon hung in the sky. The cold moonlight shone on the pitch-black sea, creating ripples of light. Sky Thundergrass refined. In order to speed up his cultivation of the second move of the Seven Sword of Judgment, Thunder Devour, Yi Chen-feng took out a Sky Thundergrass he had obtained from the Heavenly Ghost Sex Treasury. He circulated the Soul Devour art and swallowed it into his body. Suddenly, a large amount of sky thunder exploded in Yi Chen-feng's body. The surging lightning illuminated the pitch-black night sky. Perfect sword move deduced the power of the Grand Tao. The Seven Swords of Judgment was a medial-grade Tao technique. It required the power of the Great Tao to be used. Yi Chen-feng unleashed his perfect sword technique to deduce the power of the Great Tao. At the same time, he used the power of the Sky Thunder and purple spiritual lightning released by the Sky Thundergrass to cultivate the Thunder Devour. Just as Yi Chen-feng was immersed in the process of cultivating the Seven Sword of Judgment, the situation on Three Star Island changed drastically. Using Yi Chen-feng's deterrence, Mo Yin made a move against the two merchant alliances. She eradicated the dissidents and annexed the territories controlled by the two merchant alliances. From then on, the forces on Three Star Island were unified. The ancient Ink Merchant Alliance became the absolute overlord of Three Star Island, and Mo Yin became the woman with the greatest authority on Three Star Island. After unifying the territories of Three Star Island, Mo Yin's exquisite face didn't have a trace of joy. This was because she knew that Yi Chen-feng, who had moved her heart and made her develop an unforgettable love for him, could leave Three Star Island at any time. If she had a choice, she would rather give up everything and follow Yi Chen-feng. However, she knew that she and Yi Chen-feng were people from two different worlds. The gap in strength between them would only grow bigger and bigger. She could only hide her love in her heart. Just as Three-Star Island gradually regained its tranquility, three ships that were several hundred meters long and dozens of meters tall appeared in the waters near Three-Star Island. They had a ferocious beast head embedded at the bow and were impregnable. A black moon flag hung on the flagpole. These three ships belonged to the Mystic Moon Island's Mystic Moon sect. The Mystic Moon sect was the #1 force on Mystic Moon Island. Their overall strength was even stronger than the Black Devil sect. Grand Elder, Three-Star Island, is up ahead. On the deck of the cruise ship in the center, a burly level 4 Mystic Beast Grandmaster with an obvious centipede scar on his face stood in front of an old man with snow-white hair. The old man wore a black robe with water patterns, and his deep eyes flashed with light as he spoke respectfully with his hands behind his back. In a while, seal off all the ports on Three Stars Island and forbid all ships from going out to sea. If that last MOU doesn't listen, then wash the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance in blood. The Mystic Moon sect was shocked when they found out that the Three Stars Island had been unified. However, after asking around, they found out that the current overlord of the Three Stars Island, the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance, was not very strong. They wanted to take over the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance before they really rose to power and control the Three Stars Island. The three ships of the Mystic Moon sect approached the Three Stars Island's port at an extremely fast speed. MOU was the first to hear the news and immediately went to look for Yi Chunfeng. However, she found out from Hang that Yi Chunfeng was cultivating in the sea around Three Stars Island. She had no choice but to order people to look for Yi Chunfeng while leading the experts of the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance to the port. Grand Elder, that tall and slender lady in a green dress, is the alliance leader of the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance, MOU. The burly man in charge of news on Three Star Island pointed at MOU at the harbor and said softly, "Oomph, a little girl who's still wet behind the ears dares to dominate Three Stars Island? She really doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. However, if she's willing to be my concubine, I can consider bestowing her with an opportunity." The Mystic Moon sect's Grand Elder looked at MOU's exquisite face, tall and graceful figure, and unique temperament. His eyes lit up as evil thoughts appeared in his mind. Who's that girl? When the Great Elder of the Mystic Moon cult shifted his gaze from MOU to the moon raiment, the scorching light in his eyes became even more intense. He discovered that the moon raiment, with its charming and enchanting appearance, was even more charming and attractive. I don't know. She shouldn't be an important figure of the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance. The burly man shook his head and guessed. Because MOU had specially ordered Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nichang's identities to be sealed, the Mystic Moon sect didn't know of their existence without an in-depth investigation. MOU, I am the Grand Elder of the Mystic Moon sect. I've come today to bestow an opportunity to your ancient Ink Merchant Alliance. The Mystic Moon sect's Grand Elder, who was a level 6 Mystic Beast ancestor, stood on the deck of the central ship and looked down at Hang, MOU, and the others. Yin appreciates the Grand Elder's kindness, but our ancient Ink Merchant Alliance isn't ambitious and doesn't need any opportunities. Everyone, please go back. MOU looked at the Mystic Moon sect's experts who harbored ill intentions and said fearlessly, "Why? Does your ancient Ink Merchant Alliance look down on my Mystic Moon sect?" The Grand Elder heard the unyielding tone in MOU's voice and frowned slightly. His voice immediately turned cold. "Grand Elder, let's not beat around the bush. Our ancient Ink Merchant Alliance won't back down." MOU deliberately made it clear. "Is that so? But this matter isn't up to you." The Grand Elder of the Mystic Moon sect revealed a trace of arrogance and said, "If your ancient Ink Merchant Alliance doesn't want to disappear from Three Stars Island, you'd better obediently submit to my Mystic Moon sect. Otherwise, don't blame me for making your ancient Ink Merchant Alliance disappear from Three Stars Island." What a big tone. Although she couldn't find Yi Chunfeng, MOU knew that Yi Chunfeng was cultivating nearby. She was fearless and summoned the Demon-Killing Array. Demon-Killing Array, the #1 treasure of the Black Devil sect, How could it be in your hands? The Mystic Moon Sect and the Black Devil Sect were both top forces of Mystic Moon Island and were very familiar with each other. When Mo Yin summoned the demon-killing array, the Grand Elder of the Mystic Moon Sect immediately recognized it. A huge wave of emotions surged in his heart as a terrifying thought flashed through his mind. Just when Mo Yin summoned the demon-killing array and intimidated the Mystic Moon Sect's experts, the atmosphere was unprecedentedly tense. A deafening sound of thunder resounded in the sea not far away. Yi Chen-feng, who was immersed in the process of cultivating the 7 swords of judgment, suddenly opened his eyes. Sharp rays of light shot out from his deep eyes like lightning in the dark night. Bang! A several hundred-meter-high water column exploded on the surface of the sea. Yi Chen-feng leaped into the air from the sea. A large amount of lightning force revolved around his body, faintly forming a lightning vortex. After more than a month of cultivation, Yi Chen-feng finally comprehended the second style of the 7 swords of judgment, Thunder Devour. Who is it? Seeing Yi Chen-feng floating in the air with a lightning vortex revolving around his body, the Grand Elder of the Mystic Moon Sect and the others smelled a strong sense of danger and felt uneasy in their hearts. 7 swords of judgment, Thunder Devour. Yi Chen-feng had already heard the conversation between the Mystic Moon Cult's Great Elder and Mo Yin. Looking at the 3 giant ships from afar, Yi Chen-feng's body suddenly moved, turning into a bolt of lightning as he thrust his sword at the 3 ships. As he thrust out his sword, the vortex of thunder surrounding his body gushed out. The power of the Great Path turned into endless thunderbolts. Like a bolt of purple lightning, it cut through the sky and split it into 2. With astonishing destructive power, it bombarded the 3 giant ships in a row in the distance. For a moment, the air was torn and the heaven and earth shook. The terrifying lightning sword swallowed everything, and under the horrified gazes of the Mystic Moon Sect's people, it rapidly blasted over. Rumble! A series of deafening explosions resounded. The 3 giant ships in a row were attacked by the second style of the 7 swords of judgment, Thunder Devour. The solid hull of the ships was penetrated, and hundreds of Mystic Moon Sect's experts on the ships were directly killed. Witnessing this shocking scene, everyone present was shocked and forgot to breathe. Chapter 257. You? Who are you? Although the Mystic Moon Sect's Great Elder managed to keep his life, he was also heavily injured by the remaining power of the Thunder Devourer's sword. Looking at Yi Chen-feng, who had summoned the Golden Rock Wings and was slowly flying over, his entire heart trembled. The person who killed you. Yi Chen-feng coldly looked at the first elder of the Mystic Moon Sect and said without a trace of emotion, I'm the Great Elder of the Mystic Moon Sect. If you dare to kill me, I guarantee that you will be hunted down endlessly by the Mystic Moon Sect. When the Mystic Moon Sect's Great Elder came into contact with Yi Chen-feng's eyes that were filled with killing intent, he felt as if he was being stared at by the Grim Reaper. A large amount of cold sweat appeared on his forehead as he warned in a somewhat timid manner, I even dared to kill the Black Tortoise King and the Black Demon. Why would I be afraid of your Mystic Moon Sect? Yi Chen-feng snorted and said disdainfully. Yi Chen-feng had some understanding of the Mystic Moon Sect's overall strength from Mo Yin. He knew that there were at least 3 level 6 Mystic Beast Sect experts in the Mystic Moon Sect, but there was no Reverse Beast King expert. With Yi Chen-feng's current strength, he could defeat all the Mystic Beast Sect experts, so he didn't put the Mystic Moon Sect in his eyes. What? The Black Demon died in your hands, and you even killed the Black Tortoise King. Hearing this news, the Great Elder felt as if a bolt from the blue had struck him. A fear that came from the deepest part of his soul occupied his body, causing his heart to tremble. Not only him, but the Mystic Moon Sect members who were lucky enough to survive were also terrified. If the 3 ships weren't seriously damaged, they would have fled long ago. Well, do you have any last words? If not, I will send you on your way. Yi Chen-feng said with killing intent as he activated the 8 Sha Azura technique and swallowed the floating death chi into his body. Yi Chen-feng didn't have a trace of pity for the Mystic Moon sect members. He was very clear that if he wasn't stronger than them, what awaited him and the ancient Ink Merchant Alliance was destruction. Wait, it's all our fault today. Sire, what do you want in order to let us go? As long as Sire says it, I will definitely satisfy Sire's request. Although the great elder of the Mystic Moon sect had killed countless people in his life, when he was facing death, he was afraid. He disregarded his dignity and begged Yi Chen-feng to let him go. You have no right to bargain with me. If there is a need, I will personally go to your Mystic Moon sect to get it. As he spoke, the double-headed Blood Dragon King appeared in Yi Chen-feng's body and roared toward the sky. The ancient king character emitted a terrifying dragon might that impacted the hearts of the Mystic Moon sect's disciples. Mutant spiritual beast dragon. Looking at Yi Chen-feng's spirit beast, the Mystic Moon sect's grand elder's heart trembled. He finally understood why the ancient Ink Business Alliance had the strength to annex the Celestial Star Business Alliance and the Solitary Cloud Business Alliance in such a short time and unify Three-Star Island. He also knew that the Mystic Moon sect master's decision to annex the ancient MO Merchant Alliance had provoked an enemy for the Mystic Moon sect. Whoosh! Whoosh! The golden rock's wings flapped violently, setting off bursts of hurricanes. Yi Chen-feng held the titanic sword and flew down from the sky at an extremely fast speed, killing the great elder of the Mystic Moon sect. When Yi Chen-feng made his move, Eunuch Hang, Mo Yuyin, Elder Mei, and the others also made their moves. They jumped onto the severely damaged ship and killed the enemy. I won't let you go even if I become a ghost. In the face of Yi Chen-feng's tide-like attacks, the great elder of the Mystic Moon sect had no power to fight back. His injuries continued to worsen. When Yi Chen-feng sent him flying with a slash and destroyed his vitality, he roared in despair. I'm afraid you don't have the chance to become a ghost. Yi Chen-feng appeared behind him in a flash. He pressed his right hand on the great elder's head and used the soul-devouring art to devour the great elder's spirit beast. He ended the great elder's life and took away his belongings. Then, Yi Chen-feng killed his way into the crowd. While slaughtering the Mystic Moon sect's experts, he used the 8-Sha Azura art to absorb the drifting death chi in the air and condense a killing halo. After about half an hour, the invading Mystic Moon sect's disciples were all killed. A thick smell of blood floated in the air, making people feel nauseous. Chen-feng, thank you. Thank you for saving me again. Mo Yin, whose body was stained with traces of blood, came to Yi Chen-feng's side and looked at him affectionately. She said gratefully, Yuyin, your ancient MO Merchant Alliance is indeed too weak. How about this? Before we leave, I will help you set up a large formation to cover part of your Three Stars Island. This way, if you encounter danger again, you won't have to be afraid. Yi Chen-feng said softly, however, you will still need to provide the materials to set up the formation. Really? That's great. Mo Yin's eyes lit up as she said excitedly. Yi Chen-feng being willing to set up a formation for her made her heart feel very sweet. More importantly, she would be able to stay with Yi Chen-feng for a while longer. Time flew by like a shuttle, passing by in a flash. The formation Yi Chen-feng wanted to set up was called the Big Dipper Star Formation. It was formed from more than 90,000 formation patterns. He had learned from the God-Eater Brain's soul fragment that it was a sect-protecting formation that could cover several hundred li. It was extremely powerful and could threaten a peerless king when fully activated. However, setting up the Big Dipper Star Formation was also very difficult. Apart from having extremely high attainments in formation patterns, more importantly, one needed to collect a large amount of precious formation foundation materials. Fortunately, the ancient MO Merchant Alliance had unified Three Stars Island and owned the Celestial Star Merchant Alliance. The Solitary Cloud Merchant Alliance had operated their trading channels for thousands of years. After paying a huge price and spending nearly half a year, they finally collected all the formation foundation materials for the Big Dipper Star Formation. While Mo Yin ordered people to collect the formation foundation materials, Yi Chen-feng had been deducing the changes of more than 90,000 formation patterns in his mind with the help of the God-Eater Brain. After obtaining the formation foundation materials for the Big Dipper Star Formation, Yi Qinfeng immediately distributed these formation foundation materials over several hundred li of Three Stars Island. Then, he chose the ancient Emo Merchant Alliance's old residence as the center of the formation and began to set up the formation. After half a year of deductions, Yi Qinfeng had basically grasped the 90,000 formation patterns. He began to slowly condense them and fuse them into the various formation foundations, setting up the Big Dipper Star Formation. With the two-headed Blood Dragon King, Yi Qinfeng's soul power was comparable to a rank 6 Mystic Beast Sect expert. However, the consumption of 90,000 formation patterns was too great. Even with his strength, he could not bear it. However, such a high consumption allowed Yi Qinfeng's soul power to become more condensed and his foundation to become more solid. After nearly 2 months of unremitting effort, he finally condensed more than 90,000 formation patterns and fused them into tens of thousands of formation foundations. He successfully set up the Big Dipper Star Formation, covering several hundred li of area. Phew, I finally succeeded. Yi Qinfeng let out a long sigh of relief and revealed a faint smile. Yin, this is the Big Dipper Star Formation's control crystal. Once this formation is activated, even ordinary reverse beast kings will fall. With this formation's protection, you can develop the ancient Emo Merchant Alliance without worry. Yi Qinfeng handed the Big Dipper Star Formation's control crystal to Mo Yin and instructed, "Qinfeng, are you leaving?" Mo Yin looked at Yi Qinfeng reluctantly and asked after dripping her blood on the Big Dipper Star Formation's control crystal. "Yes, I have stayed here for too long, so it is indeed time for me to leave." Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, "But if I have time, I will come and see you. Qinfeng, I will wait for you forever and ever." Chapter 258. The rising sun gushed out from the surface of the sea, and the soft rainbow light dyed the rippling blue waves red, dazzling and magnificent. A giant ship cut through the sea surface and sped rapidly in the sea. 2 people stood on the deck of the ship, facing the sea breeze and looking into the distance. And these 2 people were Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang, who had left Three Stars Island for Slaughter City in the chaotic ocean. Slaughter City was full of danger, and in order to increase their life-saving means, Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang did not immediately go to the chaotic ocean, but came to the Mystic Moon Sect on Shenyu Island. About 3 days later, Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nikhang safely left the chaotic Mystic Moon Sect. No one knew what Yi Qinfeng and Yu Nishang had done to the Holy Moon Sect. However, when they left the Holy Moon Sect, they had taken away 100 million low-grade soul crystals, 2 million mid-grade soul crystals, 100 high-grade soul crystals, and 20 precious earth-grade soul cores. With 2 million mid-grade soul crystals, 100 high-grade soul crystals, and more than 90 magic crystal bones, the sword puppet could already exert the peak attack of a level 6 Mystic Beast Grandmaster for a long time. In addition to Yi Qinfeng's current strength, even if he encountered an ordinary king, he could still protect himself. Nikhang, Slaughter City, is different from other places. It is very dangerous there, and you may lose your life if you're not well. So before you go to Slaughter City, you need to further improve your strength. Yu Nichang's strength had improved a lot, and she had cultivated the 6 Meridian's Divine Shield to the 5th stage of perfection, and her physical strength had reached an astonishing 250,000 pounds. However, Slaughter City gathered too many geniuses of the Xingluo continent, and those geniuses all had the strength to kill people above their level, and Yu Nichang's foundation was still a little weak. "Qinfeng, you don't have to worry about me. As long as my strength is improved and I break through to level 5 Mystic Beast Grandmaster, I will be able to completely use my family's inherited soul mantra. At that time, my strength will increase more than 10 times, and it will be enough to deal with ordinary dangers." Yu Nikhang, who was wearing a black silk dress that accentuated her voluptuous figure and exuded a bewitching aura like a peach, said softly. Yi Qinfeng took out 10 precious Earth-level soul elixirs from his Qiankuan ring and gave them to Yu Nikhang. "All right, keep these 10 Earth-level soul elixirs and improve your strength as soon as possible." Yes, Yu Nikhang didn't stand on ceremony with Yi Chenfeng. She took the 10 soul pills that contained powerful spiritual energy and returned to the cabin to refine and cultivate. She wanted to break through to the 5th level of the Xian Beast Grandmaster realm. While Yu Nikhang was cultivating, Yi Chenfeng was also sitting on the bow deck. Facing the moist sea breeze, he was refining the spiritual beast devoured by the God-Eater brain and improving his strength. Time passed day by day. The ship was sailing rapidly in the vast and boundless North Sea. It was slowly approaching the chaotic sea. As they approached the chaotic sea, the spiritual energy in the air became obviously violent. The turbulent sea breeze rolled up huge waves and fiercely slapped the ship's hull. Chengfeng, have we entered the chaotic sea? Feeling the ship's hull trembling, Yu Nikhang left the cabin and came to the deck. She looked at the dark sky in the distance and asked softly. After more than a month of cultivation, Yu Nikhang had refined 10 Earth-level soul elixirs, and her strength had improved a lot. However, it required too much energy to break through to the 5th level of the Xian Beast Grandmaster realm from the 4th level. Even if there were enough Earth-level soul elixirs, Yu Nikhang couldn't break through in a short time. Yes, we have entered the chaotic sea. According to the map, we should be able to reach Slaughter City after sailing for more than 10 days. Yi Chenfeng was holding a detailed map in his hand. He confirmed his position and said, the ship, which was burning a large amount of soul crystals, sailed in the chaotic ocean for a day or so. All of a sudden, a large expanse of pitch-black clouds appeared in the distance, covering several hundred nautical miles. Waves of berserk gales gushed out from the dark clouds, slapping the sea surface, forming a black storm. Black wind tide. Looking at the surging black storm, Yi Chenfeng immediately recognized that it was one of the natural phenomena of the chaotic sea. It was enough to destroy an ordinary ship. However, Yi Chenfeng's ship was forcibly seized by him after he defeated the leader of the Mystic Moon Cult. It was the first ship that the Mystic Moon Cult had spent more than 10 years to build. It was impregnable and incomparably hard. It was not afraid of the impact of the black wind tide. The ship directly tore through the black wind, sailing at a high speed in the turbulent sea as if it were riding the wind and breaking the waves. After about half a day, the ship passed through the extremely destructive black wind tide and sailed into a relatively stable sea area. However, the ship did not sail for long before it was attacked by the sea monsters. One after another, huge monsters jumped out of the sea surface and attacked the ship. The chaotic sea is really dangerous. On the deck, Yi Chenfeng looked at the monsters jumping out of the sea surface with their bloody mouths and muttered to himself. Just as the ship was sailing rapidly in the chaotic sea, killing the monsters that blocked its way and dyeing the sea surface red, Yi Chenfeng suddenly found that not far ahead, there was a severely damaged ship. Hundreds of huge monsters followed behind the ship. They released a powerful monster power and fiercely attacked the ship. They wanted to destroy the ship and devour the people on the ship. Friend, we are the people of the Han family of the Xingluo continent. Our ship was destroyed by the monsters. Can we go to your excellency's ship to avoid the danger? As long as we survive this crisis, we will definitely thank your excellency. As the two ships were getting closer and closer, a deep voice came from afar and entered Yi Chenfeng's ears. Yi Chenfeng did not like to meddle in other people's business. Moreover, the chaotic sea was full of danger. He had no intention of saving them. Hearing that Yi Chenfeng did not reply, the 8 experts of the Han clan who were in danger leaped into the air one after another. They drew a beautiful arc in the air and jumped onto Yi Chenfeng's ship without any explanation. After the 8 people boarded the ship, the monsters that were chasing them immediately changed their target and attacked Yi Chenfeng's ship. However, Yi Chenfeng's ship was impregnable. It withstood the attacks of hundreds of demonic beasts. With a powerful force, it charged towards the hundreds of demonic beasts in the sea that were chasing after it, directly crushing them. What a sturdy ship! Witnessing the scene of the ship crushing the monsters in the sea, the eyes of the 8 experts of the Han family suddenly lit up. Such a sturdy ship must have cost a lot of money, and was very rare. Sorry, we were in a dangerous situation just now. We boarded the ship without permission. Please don't mind. A white-robed old man with snow-white hair and eyebrows looked at the young Yi Chenfeng and said in a low voice. He was a level 6 mystic beast ancestor. If they had not met Yi Chenfeng by chance, they would have died if their ship was destroyed and fell into the sea. Yi Chenfeng glanced at the white-robed old man and the other 8 people. He discovered that among the 8 people, 4 of the old men were level 6 mystic beast ancestor experts. The remaining 4 young people had a very solid cultivation foundation. 2 of them were level 5 mystic beast ancestor experts, while the other 2 were level 4 mystic beast ancestor experts. I wonder if you can send us to Slaughter City? We can pay the fare. The white-haired old man saw that Yi Chenfeng was silent for a long time and his strength was only level 1 mystic beast ancestor. His eyes rolled and said, 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals, and I will send you to Slaughter City. Yi Chenfeng said indifferently. 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals? Are you crazy? A young man with a tall and straight figure and an arrogant expression on his face said with an ugly expression, If it wasn't for me, you might have been eaten by the monsters. Yi Chenfeng ignored the young man's angry eyes and said indifferently, If you think it's too expensive, you can get off the ship now. The young man did not expect Yi Chenfeng to be so impolite and insist on blackmailing them. He was so angry that his face turned green and a surge of anger rolled in his chest. Okay, 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals, we will pay. Although Yi Chenfeng's cultivation was not high, the white-robed old man could smell a trace of danger from him. He hesitated for a moment and reluctantly paid the 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals. The white-robed old man had just paid the mid-grade soul crystals when Unikang heard the noise and left the cabin. She came to the deck. When the 4 enraged Han clan geniuses saw the moon raiment without makeup, her charming face gave off a soul-stirring beauty. Her jet-black hair casually draped over her shoulders. Her skin was smooth and supple, and her aura was like that of an orchid. She was so enchanting that it entered one's bones. Their eyes immediately burned with desire. Chenfeng, who are they? Unikang was very disgusted by their rude eyes. She frowned slightly and asked coldly. They are from the Han family of the Xingluo continent. They were just chased by the monsters in the sea and jumped onto our ship to take refuge. Yi Chenfeng said softly. Oh, Unikang did not look at them and returned to the cabin to cultivate. Okay, the deck is relatively spacious, but you can rest as you wish. Without my permission, you are not to come to the cabin. Chapter 259. Damn it, this brat is too arrogant. I really want to kill him. Seeing Yi Chenfeng's departing figure, a black-robed, square-faced genius from the Han clan furiously roared. He had a thick, evil aura between his eyebrows and was wearing a black robe. That's right, a grade 1 mystic beast ancestor brat dares to blackmail us. We must teach him a lesson and let him know the power of our Han clan. The other 3 Han clan prodigies echoed. They had the urge to rush into the cabin and kill Yi Chenfeng. They had completely forgotten that if it wasn't for Yi Chenfeng's appearance that gave them a chance to turn things around, they might have been eaten by the sea beasts. Don't be reckless. That young man is definitely not simple. The white-haired elder said solemnly. 5th elder, what are you worried about? With the strength of the 8 of us, can't we deal with him? The burly Han clan prodigy, who was wearing a brocade robe, did not put Yi Chenfeng in his eyes at all and said disdainfully, If he doesn't have anything to rely on, do you think he would dare to blackmail us? Moreover, this ship is not ordinary. Even our Han clan doesn't have one. Also, the lady that just came out is not simple either. Her cultivation foundation is very solid. She is definitely from Super Force. The white-haired elder said cautiously. It was fine if they did not mention Unikang. When the 4 Han clan prodigies thought of Unichang's charming face, hot and plump body, and slender legs, their hearts were burning. 5th elder, we're going to Slaughter City to train ourselves. If we are so timid, why are we going to Slaughter City? Why don't we just go back? The 4 geniuses of the Han clan said, unwilling to let it go. Their words also received the support of the other 3 Han clan elders. In the end, the strongest 5th elder could not stand the instigation of the 7 people and finally agreed to kill Yi Chunfeng and capture Yu Nikang. When we fight later, remember not to hurt the lady. Otherwise, it won't be fun if she gets injured. Don't worry. How could I bear to be heavy-handed with such a beautiful girl? Once we capture her, we'll be in luck for the rest of our journey. The 4 Han clan geniuses were constantly communicating via voice transmissions. It was as if the sexy and alluring Yu Nikang had already become their property and couldn't escape from their palms. What's wrong? Are you ready to fight? Yi Chunfeng had long since sensed that the 8 people were not good people. Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul had also captured their conversation. Knowing that they were about to attack, Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikang took the initiative to appear on the deck. I didn't expect you to eavesdrop on our conversation, but this is even better. We don't have to waste time talking nonsense. The burly man looked at Yu Nikang with a ferocious gaze and revealed a cruel smile. Sigh, with your level of intelligence, you actually dare to go to the city of slaughter to train. You really don't know what's good for you. Yi Chunfeng sneered and mocked. Although the 8 Han clan geniuses were strong, in Yi Chunfeng's eyes, they were already 8 corpses. Looking at Yi Chunfeng's calm appearance and hearing his cold voice, the strongest white-haired old man suddenly felt a trace of uneasiness in his heart. Damn it, you still dare to be stubborn when you're about to die. When we capture you later, I will let you taste all the pain in the world and let you slowly die in despair. Because Yi Chunfeng was only a grade 1 mystic beast ancestor, the burly man didn't put him in his eyes at all and said with a murderous aura, "Is that so?" Yi Chunfeng's lips curled up slightly and revealed a trace of a cold smile. The 8 Sha Azura technique was activated in his body and condensed into a rainbow-shaped killing halo. A terrifying killing intent instantly emerged from his body and rushed towards the burly man and the others with his body as the center. The killing intent accumulated by the blood and bones on the deck seemed to have frozen the air. It was frighteningly oppressive. What a terrifying killing intent. Feeling the killing intent emitted from Yi Chunfeng's body, the white-haired old man and the others' faces changed drastically. They didn't expect that Yi Chunfeng, who was only a grade 1 mystic beast ancestor, could release such a terrifying killing intent. Wait, there was a misunderstanding just now. We don't want to fight with you. I'm willing to compensate you with 100,000 mid-grade soul crystals. How about we call it quits? Through the killing intent emitted by Yi Chunfeng, the white-haired old man completely confirmed that Yi Chunfeng was not as simple as he appeared to be. He hurriedly shouted, "Hee, don't you think it's too late?" Yu Nikang returned to her demonic nature and let out a series of crisp laughter. She said, "After killing you, everything on you will be ours. Why do we have to ask for 100,000 mid-grade soul crystals? You, 5th elder, what are you afraid of? I don't believe that with the combined strength of the 8 of us, we can't deal with them." The burly man couldn't suppress the anger in his heart, and an aggressive spiritual beast emerged from his body. Yes, let's do it. With that said, the other 3 geniuses of the Han family fused their spiritual beasts one after another. For powerful auras oppressed Yi Chunfeng together. Roar! When the burly man and the other 3 fused their spiritual beasts and were about to make a move, a loud dragon roar sounded. The double-headed blood dragon king, whose body was 3,000 meters long and whose blood scales were the size of wash basins, emitted a demonic light, emerged from Yi Chunfeng's body and roared at them. Dragon, his spiritual beast, is actually a mutated double-headed dragon. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's spiritual beast and feeling the dragon's might emitted by the double-headed blood dragon king, everyone, including the white-haired old man, was stunned and horrified. The next moment, an even more terrifying scene happened. When the double-headed blood dragon king fused into Yi Chunfeng's body, Yi Chunfeng's body began to change. Large patches of blood dragon scales covered his whole body, and the king, ancient rune appeared on his forehead. His strength had also reached the limit of a level 6 mystic beast ancestor and was only a step away from the reverse beast king realm. Beast soul form, emperor-level powerhouse. Witnessing the scene of Yi Chunfeng transforming into a beast soul form, the white-haired old man was scared out of his wits, and a look of despair appeared in his heart. The burly man and the others, who had evil intentions, were so scared that their faces turned pale and their bodies trembled uncontrollably. No, his strength is only at the peak of a level 6 mystic beast ancestor. He's not an emperor-level powerhouse. Who the hell is he? In fear, the white-haired old man realized that Yi Chunfeng's strength hadn't even reached the reverse beast king realm. He was sure that he wasn't an emperor-level powerhouse, but he was even more afraid of his means. This was because he had never heard of anyone in the mystic beast ancestor realm who could use the abilities of an emperor-level powerhouse. Wait, it was all our fault just now. We are willing to give you everything we have, as long as you can spare our lives. The terrified white-haired old man lowered his pride and begged for mercy loudly. Make your move, or you won't have a chance. Yi Chunfeng took out the titanic fault heavenly sword and pointed the tip of the sword at the white-haired old man and the others as he spoke domineeringly. Fifth Elder, what should we do? The burly man and the others, who were in a daze, transmitted their voices to ask for the opinion of the white-haired old man, who was the strongest among them. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng had no intention of letting them go, the white-haired old man steeled his heart and transmitted his voice. Let's attack together and try our best to kill him. If we fail, we'll immediately jump off the ship and escape. Attack! As the white-haired old man roared, the 8 experts of the Han family attacked together and used powerful soul skills to attack Yi Chunfeng. Chapter 260. Yi Chunfeng didn't dodge at all as he unleashed his 350,000 kilograms of strength. His perfect sword force surged out of his body as the slaughtering halo doubled his attack power. Slaughter 4th style, Eternal Night. He slashed out with his sword, and a sword light that was fused with boundless soul power shot out, stealing away all the brilliance in the surroundings. The frightening sword power tore a sword scar in the air and bombarded the 8 streams of soul skills in the river. In an instant, all the sound in the world was swallowed up. The terrifying force formed a powerful shockwave and violently exploded. The powerful shockwave cracked the hard deck and caused the huge ship to tremble. PFFF. Facing the Eternal Night sword light head-on, the 2 Class 4 Mystic Beast ancestors from the Han clan's defenses were immediately shattered. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and staggered as they fell to the ground. The white-haired old man and the other 5 didn't have it easy either. They were hit by the powerful shockwave, and the blood in their bodies churned violently, making it difficult for them to breathe. On the other hand, Yi Chunfeng relied on the powerful defense of the blood dragon scales to resist the shockwave and directly charged into the destructive storm. He continued to attack with the titanic fault heavenly sword. Purple spiritual lightning, green spiritual fire, attack. While Yi Chunfeng was attacking with all his might, the purple polarity spiritual lightning and green spectral spiritual fire appeared on his body and continuously bombarded the white-haired old man and the others. The fierce attacks completely suppressed the attacks of the white-haired old man and the others. What kind of great power nurtured this genius? Not only does he have the divine ability of an emperor, but he also subdued the mysterious spiritual lightning and spiritual fire of heaven and earth. The white-haired old man and the others became more and more frightened as they fought. They realized that Yi Chunfeng was like a bottomless pit with endless methods and unfathomable strength. Chunfeng, let me deal with the 2 of them. The moon raiment, which had fused with the 3-tailed ice fox, also joined the battle. Wielding the frigid wood and the autumn water, she attacked the 2 level 4 mystic beast sect disciples with all her might, not giving them a chance to escape. Spirit Snake's sword technique. With his attack suppressed, the sword in the white-haired old man's hand transformed into a jade-green spirit snake. It twisted in the air for a moment before stabbing toward Yi Chunfeng's chest at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. Just as Yi Chunfeng's chest was about to be pierced through, Yi Chunfeng suddenly extended a finger and pointed at the spirit snake sword beam. When his finger came into contact with the spirit serpent sword gleam, a force of 650,000 kilograms erupted, and the terrifying power easily shattered the spirit serpent sword gleam. Perfect sword force, kill. Breaking the white-haired old man's attack with a single finger, Yi Qinfeng's perfect sword force gushed out from his body, turning into a shocking light sword. It slashed forward at an extremely fast speed, sending the white-haired old man, who had turned pale with fright, flying. A large amount of blood spurted out from his exploding body. After severely injuring the most powerful white-haired elder with one sword attack, Yi Qinfeng stepped on the shifting phantom shadow and increased his speed to the peak. He fought speed with speed as he wantonly continued to suppress the attacks of the other 5 people. Instant kill sword. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Qinfeng's entire body merged with the gigantic fault heavenly sword and turned into an extremely fast sword light. Before the others could react, he slashed at a wounded level 6 mystic beast ancestor elder from the Han clan. Half of the Han clan's elder's body was split open by the instant kill sword. A large amount of blood and organs splattered all over the floor. He fell into a pool of blood and died. Don't hesitate. Quickly jump off the ship. Seeing the miserable state of the Han clan's elder, the white-haired old man and the others shuddered. They all gave up on counterattacking and wanted to jump off the ship to escape. Do you think you can escape? Yi Qinfeng sneered. The ancient cold mystic ice gushed out from Yi Qinfeng's body and froze the level 5 mystic beast ancestor burly man and the brocade-robed man. In an instant, the two of them were frozen by the ancient cold mystic ice that was extremely close to sky water. They turned into 2 ice sculptures and couldn't move at all. 7 Sword of Judgment, extreme cold. The moment the burly man and the brocade-robed man were frozen, the perfect sword aura gushed out from Yi Qinfeng's body and quickly deduced the power of the Great Tao. It turned into an extreme cold sword light that could freeze the void and slashed at the other level 6 mystic beast ancestor. No, the extreme cold sword light that contained the power of the Great Tao attacked. The level 6 mystic beast ancestor from the Han clan let out a cry of despair and quickly burned his blood essence to defend against it. However, the extreme cold sword light's power was too terrifying. The sword light that fell like a meteor directly tore through his defense and shattered his body, killing him on the spot. Using the opportunity, when Yi Qinfeng killed the level 6 mystic beast ancestor from the Han clan, the white-haired old man and the brocade-robed man successfully jumped into the rippling waves of the sea and fled for their lives. Nick Hang, I'll leave them to you. I'll go after those 2. Yi Qinfeng's sharp eyes locked onto one of them. He summoned the golden rock wings and broke into the sea, chasing after him with all his might. In the blink of an eye, Yi Qinfeng, who had increased his speed to the limit, caught up with him in the sea. He continuously released the ancient cold mysterious ice to freeze the elder's body and controlled the purple spiritual lightning to attack with all his might. Instant kill sword. Facing the attack of the ancient cold mysterious ice and the purple spiritual lightning, this elder of the Han clan couldn't fight back at all. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng suddenly merged with the gigantic fault heavenly sword and heavily injured the elder's body, cutting off half of his body. Art of soul devouring, devour. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng immediately appeared behind him and used the art of soul devouring to devour the elder's spirit beast. He ended the elder's life and took away his belongings before continuing to chase after the white-haired old man. Although the white-haired old man and the brocade-robed man had escaped in different directions, Yi Qinfeng's soul had been tempered by the 8 Carnage Battle Emperor and was extremely powerful. He had been locking onto the elder. After about half an hour, the golden rock wings flapped violently. Yi Qinfeng, who had turned into a stream of light, closed the distance between him and the white-haired old man. Feeling that Yi Qinfeng was getting closer and closer, the white-haired old man was scared out of his wits. He kept burning his qi and blood to escape with all his might. However, his speed couldn't be compared with Yi Qinfeng's at all. Coupled with the fact that he was heavily injured, Yi Chen-feng soon caught up with him. Purple spiritual lightning. After closing in on the white-haired old man, Yi Chen-feng kept controlling the purple spiritual lightning to attack the white-haired old man's body, worsening his injuries. Spirit Snake Sky Strike. As his injuries worsened, the white-haired old man was in despair. He suddenly turned his body and burned all his chi and blood to the maximum. He turned into a spirit snake that was hundreds of meters long and launched a fatal attack at Yi Chen-feng. For slaughter styles, Eternal Night. The white-haired old man turned his body into a move and executed the spirit snake Sky Strike. Yi Chen-feng immediately used the Eternal Night's sword light to meet the attack. He cut open the spirit snake that was hundreds of meters long and severely injured the old man's body. Devour. Before the white-haired old man breathed his last, Yi Chen-feng immediately appeared behind him. He circulated the soul-devouring art and devoured the old man's spirit beast. After obtaining the old man's belongings, he killed the old man. When Yi Chen-feng returned to the ship, Yu Nikhang had used her own strength to kill the two Class 4 mystic beast ancestor disciples of the Han clan. Blood flowed everywhere. No, don't kill us. I beg you, please don't kill us. We know our mistakes. Seeing the miserable state of their companions, the two men were so frightened that they cried. They kept begging for mercy, praying that Yi Chen-feng would let them go. It's too late. Chapter 261. A killing command. Could it be that one must have a killing command to enter Slaughter City? Yi Chen-feng cleaned up the bloodstains on the deck. When he checked the belongings of the white-haired old man and the others, he unexpectedly found 4 killing commands that were made of special materials. In addition to the 4 killing commands, Yi Chen-feng also found a top Earth-grade soul art, a top Earth-grade soul skill, more than 600,000 mid-grade soul crystals, more than 50 million low-grade soul crystals, 10 high-grade Earth-grade weapons, several Earth-grade soul elixirs, and many recovery spirit-grade soul elixirs. The harvest is not bad. After giving several Earth-grade soul elixirs to Yu Nikhang, Yi Chen-feng adjusted the course of the ship and returned to the cabin to refine the spiritual beast that he had swallowed in his body and further improve his strength. Time passed day by day. Yi Chen-feng spent about 3 days to refine all the spiritual beasts that he had swallowed in his body. His strength had also reached the peak of Class 1 Mystic Beast Ancestor and was only a step away from breaking through. After another 7 days, the ship finally sailed into the sea area near Slaughter City. Feeling a faint murderous aura in the air, Yi Chen-feng and Yu Nikhang left the cabin and came to the deck. In the distance, between the clouds, a black city that was built on an isolated island appeared. It was emitting a strong, murderous aura. Huge ships sped up and sailed towards the dangerous Slaughter City from all directions. A large number of ships docked at the 4 sides of Slaughter City and surrounded it. I can feel the murderous aura from Slaughter City from so far away. This Slaughter City is worthy of being an ancient city. The murderous aura that it has accumulated is too terrifying. Feeling the murderous aura in the air getting stronger and stronger, Yi Chen-feng was not used to it with his strength. He was in awe of Slaughter City. Let's go, Nikhang. Let's get off the ship. The ship slowly entered the slightly congested harbor. Yi Chen-feng and Yu Nikhang left the ship and came to the modeled city. Many layers of the black city walls had fallen off, revealing the vicissitudes of time. Although the city of Slaughter had experienced many ups and downs, it was difficult to conceal its majestic and lofty aura. Many people with weak minds were unable to withstand the murderous aura it emitted and were unable to enter the city. Nikhang, are you okay? Yi Chen-feng silently circulated the 8 slaughtering Azura skill and quickly dispelled the discomfort in his body. He turned his head to look at Yu Nikhang, whose face was slightly pale and whose breathing was rapid, and asked softly, "I'm fine. Don't worry about me." Yu Nikhang took a deep breath and silently operated her family's inherited soul mantra. She slowly adapted to the strong, murderous aura in the air and the pressure of Slaughter City itself. Because Yu Nikhang was too beautiful and her figure was too hot, she attracted a lot of attention as she stood under the city of Slaughter and adapted to the murderous aura emitted by the city of slaughter. Pairs of burning eyes wantonly swept up and down her voluptuous body. Many people even had evil intentions and had designs on her. Phew, alright. I've basically adapted to the murderous aura here. Chingfeng, let's enter the city. After about half an hour, Yu Nikang had basically adapted to the pressure of Slaughter City. She followed Yi Chunfeng and walked towards the black, castle-like city of Slaughter. Slaughter order. Following the bustling crowd, they walked to the 10-meter-tall giant city gate of Slaughter City. A guard wearing black armor and holding a sharp spear stopped them and said coldly. He was emitting a strong, murderous aura. Sure enough, entering the city of slaughter requires a slaughter order. Yi Chenfeng took out 2 black slaughter orders from his Chinquan bag that he had obtained from killing the Han family's experts. He handed them to the black-armored guard and smoothly walked into the city of slaughter with Yu Nikang. Walking into the city of slaughter, Yi Chenfeng immediately smelled a faint smell of blood in the air. Under the influence of the 8 Sha Azura technique, the deathly aura that filled the city slowly floated over and entered Yi Chunfeng's body, condensing into a killing halo. Detailed explanation of Slaughter City. Is there anyone who needs a detailed explanation of Slaughter City? After walking for a short distance, Yi Chenfeng heard a shout coming from a stall not far from the city gate. He immediately walked over with Yu Nikang. At this time, there were many people standing next to the stall. They were bargaining with a sharp-faced man wearing a gray robe with a shrewd expression. How much is this detailed explanation of Slaughter City? Yi Chenfeng looked at the pre-printed detailed explanation of Slaughter City placed on the stall and asked in a low voice. 1 book for 300,000 low-grade soul crystals, 2 books for 500,000 low-grade soul crystals, no bargaining. The sharp-faced man said, Okay, I'll buy 1. Including the treasures in the Heavenly Ghost Sect's vault, the extortion of the Holy Moon sect, and the loot he had obtained along the way, Yi Chenfeng now had close to 300 million low-grade soul crystals. 300,000 low-grade soul crystals was just a drop in the bucket for him, so he bought a detailed explanation of Slaughter City without hesitation. Wait! Just as Yi Chenfeng was about to leave, the sharp-faced man suddenly called out to him. What? Is there anything else? Yi Chenfeng frowned slightly and looked at the sharp-faced man who was a level 5 mystic beast ancestor. He asked coldly, Slaughter City is a place of cannibalism. Killing people on the street and robbing people at will can be seen everywhere. Your female companion is so beautiful that it is likely to cause you big trouble. I have 2 human skin masks. Do you want them? Seeing Yi Chenfeng's cold eyes, the sharp-faced man did not care. He took out 2 human skin masks as thin as cicada's wings from his Chinquan bag and asked, How much is 1 human skin mask? Yi Chenfeng pondered for a moment and asked, 1 million low-grade soul crystals for 1. After you wear it, you won't be able to see any flaws. Seeing that Yi Chenfeng was tempted, the sharp-faced man smiled and tried his best to persuade him. 1 million low-grade soul crystals for 2. Although Yi Chenfeng had plenty of low-grade soul crystals, he did not want to be taken advantage of. It is not easy to refine these human skin masks. This is the lowest price. The sharp-faced man said with a look as if he was sure that Yi Chenfeng would win. Then forget it, let's go. Yi Chenfeng and his companion came to Slaughter City to gain experience. If they were worried about danger, they would not have come. Therefore, the human skin masks were not very useful to them. Hey, if you don't buy it, you will regret it. Seeing Yi Chenfeng walk away, the sharp-faced man immediately called out to him. However, Yi Chenfeng ignored him and walked further and further away with the charming Yu Nikang. Just as the sharp-faced man said, Yu Nichang's charm was indeed too great. Walking on the spacious streets of Slaughter City, she immediately became the focus of attention. Many men who were paying attention to her stared blankly and swallowed their saliva. However, under the deterrence of Yi Chenfeng's killing intent deliberately released, no one dared to approach her. Soon, the 2 came to an ancient-looking restaurant. Let's go in and have something to eat. Let's see what this Slaughter City has to say. Yi Chenfeng pointed at the bustling restaurant in front of them and suggested. Okay, Yu Niking nodded and intimately held Yi Qinfeng's arm and followed him in. What a beautiful girl. Yi Qinfeng and his companion had just sat down when two men with scars on their faces were immediately attracted by Yu Nichang's charming appearance and hot figure. Their clothes were stained with blood, and their bodies emitted a strong smell of alcohol. Their eyes shone with a fiery light. A level 1 mystic beast ancestor realm brat dares to bring such a beautiful girl to Slaughter City. He must be tired of living. Let's go and tell them the rules of Slaughter City. The weak can't survive here. Chapter 262. Brat, we've taken a liking to this girl. If you don't want to die, then obediently crawl out of here. Otherwise, us two brothers will make sure that you won't be able to see the sun tomorrow. The two men walked in front of Yi Qinfeng and fiercely slammed the table. They looked at him with ferocious eyes and fiercely ordered him. Scram! Yi Qinfeng didn't think that trouble would come knocking the moment he sat down. He placed a fragrant spiritual teacup on the table, and a strong killing intent emitted from his body. Mother asterisk her, you dare to scold me? I'll chop you up. The slightly taller middle-aged man didn't think that Yi Qinfeng would dare to insult him in front of everyone. His eyes flashed with killing intent as he took out a gloomy broadsword from his chinquin bag and chopped towards Yi Qinfeng's head. Just as Yi Qinfeng's head was about to be chopped by the broadsword filled with soul power, a deafening thunderous sound rang out. The extremely destructive extreme purple spiritual lightning spewed out from Yi Qinfeng's body and bombarded him at close range. Rumble! The extreme purple spiritual lightning exploded, and the powerful thunderous force shook off the broadsword that was coming down with full force. It bombarded the tall man who couldn't dodge in time and directly sent him flying. He was like a kite with a broken string as he heavily fell to the ground. A large amount of blood sprayed out from his mouth. Spiritual lightning. You actually subdued a ball of spiritual lightning. Seeing the extreme purple spiritual lightning spewing out from Yi Qinfeng's body, the short man's expression changed greatly. He didn't think that Yi Qinfeng, who was only a level 1 mystic beast ancestor, would be able to subdue a type of spiritual lightning. Just as he was shocked, 350,000 pounds of force exploded from Yi Qinfeng's body. He rushed towards the short man and used the collapsing cloud palm. It carried a suffocating force as it bombarded towards him. Boom! Taking the collapsing cloud palm head-on, the short man's body trembled violently and uncontrollably retreated. A large amount of cracks appeared on his bloody body, and the blood that spurted out from his body instantly dyed him red. So strong, who is so strong? He must be hiding his strength. Without powerful strength, would he dare to bring such a beautiful woman to Slaughter City? Su Qi and the others have kicked an iron plate. Not necessarily. Su Qi and Lu Tong are both members of the 10,000 Kill Gang. As for the 10,000 Kill Gang, they are famous for massacring people in the outer city. Furthermore, they are extremely protective of their own people. They will absolutely not tolerate someone challenging their authority. Witnessing the scene of Yi Qinfeng heavily injuring Su Qi and Lu Tong with lightning speed, the large restaurant was in an uproar. You don't come over. We're from the 10,000 Kills Gang. If you kill me, the 10,000 Kills Gang will never let you off. Seeing Yi Qinfeng walk towards them step by step and feeling the killing intent emanating from his body, Su Qi and Su Li's hearts trembled. They had no choice but to bring out the name of the 10,000 Killers Gang to deter Yi Qinfeng. Hearing their threats, Yi Qinfeng remained unmoved. A large amount of frigid qi gushed out from his body, freezing the heavily injured Su Qi and Lu Tong. In the next moment, the perfect sword force gushed out of his body, forming two extremely fast sword gleams that pierced through their heads at an extremely fast speed. Pung pung. The two's heads were pierced through by the sword gleams condensed from the perfect sword force. Blood splattered all over the ground as they died on the spot. After killing Su Qi and Lu Tong, Yi Qinfeng collected their belongings and circulated the 8 Sha Azura art, absorbing the drifting death qi into his body. He didn't immediately leave. Instead, he returned to Yu Nichang's side and took out the detailed explanation of Slaughter City. This young man's guts are too big. He actually dared to kill people from the 10,000 Kills gang. Yeah, with the 10,000 Kills gang's vengeful nature, they will definitely avenge Su Chi and Lu Tong. With the 10,000 Kills gang's strength, they won't be able to escape death. What a pity for such a beautiful woman. Hearing the discussions of the crowd, Yi Chenfeng's expression didn't change. He opened the detailed explanation of Slaughter City and carefully read it with Yu Nikang. Slaughter City was divided into the outer city and inner city. With a slaughter order, one could enter the outer city. There were no restrictions in the outer city, and one could freely kill as one wished. This was also the reason why the 10,000 Kills gang was born. But the inner city strictly prohibited killing on the streets. If one wanted to enter the inner city, they first had to go to the killing field in the outer city and win 20 battles in a row. Only then would they be able to obtain an identity token to enter the inner city. In the killing field, after winning 20 battles in a row, one could obtain 100 slaughter points for every 10 battles they won. Once they won 100 battles in a row, they could obtain the precious 100 victory badge, a slaughter stone, and 1,000 slaughter points as a reward. Slaughter points were the most precious things in the inner city. It was also the only currency used in the inner city. With slaughter points, one could freely exchange them for treasures and resources in the inner city. However, slaughter points were not easy to obtain. Apart from going to the slaughter tower to obtain the corresponding rewards, one could only sell their own treasures and directly exchange them for slaughter points in Slaughter City. And the slaughter tower was the only place in the inner city where slaughter was allowed. It was also the fastest place to earn slaughter points. The slaughter tower had a total of 10 levels. Every 10 battles, one allowed them to ascend a level. Every time one ascended a level, not only would they be able to obtain slaughter points as a reward, but they could also exchange them for treasures of different values. The slaughter tower was also the most popular place in the inner city. Besides the slaughter tower, the inner city also had the North Sea Ancient Land and the Nine Dragon Jade Wall. Of these, the North Sea Ancient Land was the most mysterious and also the most dangerous. It opened once every 10 years, and only the top geniuses of the inner city had the qualifications to enter to seek great lucky chances. The Nine Dragon Jade Wall was a test of one's talent. Only those who had ascended to the 5th level of the Slaughter Tower had the qualifications to accept the Nine Dragon Jade Wall's test. If one could pass the 9th level of the Nine Dragon Jade Wall, not only would they obtain a reward that would make others green with envy, but they would also obtain their own unique title. For tens of thousands of years, there had only been a few geniuses that had passed the Nine Dragon Jade Wall's test and obtained a title. In the last 3,000 years, not a single person had been able to do so. Besides these 3 important places, the inner city also had the auction house, the training field, the treasure pavilion, as well as the relaxing brothels and casinos. It could be said that as long as one had enough slaughter points, the inner city of Slaughter was absolutely a paradise on earth. As for the women in the brothels, they were unrivaled beauties. However, very few people were willing to spend their slaughter points on women. Looks like we still have to make a trip to the slaughter field. Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang browsed through the detailed explanation of the inner city. They were very interested in the inner city where danger and opportunity coexisted. Let's go, Nikhang. Let's find a place to rest first. Tomorrow we will go to the slaughter field to fight and try to enter the inner city as soon as possible. Yi Chunfeng slowly stood up and said. Just as the two of them left the restaurant and were preparing to find a place to rest, Yi Chunfeng's sharp perception suddenly sensed that someone was following them. He couldn't help but frown. The people following us should be from the 10,000 Kills gang. Yu Nikhang also sensed that someone was following them and coldly said. Chapter 263. Green Bamboo House. I didn't think that there would be such an elegant place in the outer city of Slaughter City. Nikhang, let's stay here for a while. According to the topographic map of Slaughter City, Yi Chunfeng and Yi Qingtang came to the depths of the green bamboo house, surrounded by green bamboos. The air was fresh, and it was incompatible with the outside world. They immediately fell in love with this place. Okay. Yu Nikhang was also very satisfied with the environment of the green bamboo house and nodded in agreement. Nick Hang, Slaughter City is full of danger. I think it's best for the two of us to stay together. Although Nick Hang had cultivated her Six Meridians God Shield to the 5th layer, which was enough to fight against a level 6 Xin B sect expert, her foundation was still a bit weak. For the sake of caution, Yi Chunfeng suggested, Hee, Chunfeng, you wouldn't want to do something to me, would you? Hearing Yi Chunfeng's suggestion, Yu Nichang's red lips slightly curved up. Her beautiful big eyes turned into the shape of a crescent moon. She looked at him with a burning gaze and boldly asked, Do you think I'm that kind of person? Yi Chunfeng rubbed his nose and said somewhat helplessly, I don't know if you are that kind of person, but I will find a way to make you that kind of person. After saying this, Yu Niking laughed out loud. Her undulating breasts made Yi Chunfeng's heart burn. The environment of the green bamboo house was elegant, and the price of living was also quite expensive. Fortunately, Slaughter City didn't require slaughter points. Yi Chunfeng spent a total of 1 million low-grade soul crystals and booked a luxurious suite. I'm so tired. Chunfeng, I'm going to take a bath. Do you want to peek? After entering the guest room, Yu Nishang kicked off her boots and walked into the inner room with bare feet. She laid down lazily on the soft bed and looked straight at Yi Chunfeng. She spoke in a tone that was so alluring that it seemed as if she didn't have to pay for it. Nick Hang, stop trying to seduce me. Hurry up and take a bath. If you're late, I'm afraid that the 10,000 Kills gang will be here soon. Yi Chunfeng said helplessly as he looked at Yu Nick Hang, who was lying on the bed with her exquisite curves. Ha, you have the heart, but not the guts. Yu Nick Hang caught Yi Chunfeng's gaze sweeping over her body. Not only was she not angry, but she laughed even louder. Her licentious attitude made Yi Chunfeng's heart burn. Nick Hang, take a good bath. I'll keep watch for you. Yi Chunfeng found that his resistance to Yu Nick Hang was getting lower and lower. He didn't dare to stay in the charming room for too long. He closed the door to the inner room and circulated the 8 strands of Azura skill in the outer room, condensing the killing halo. At this time, the 10,000 Kills gang members who had been following Yi Chunfeng immediately reported their movements to the 10,000 Kills gang. The night grew deeper and deeper. Seeing Yi Chunfeng enter a state of cultivation, Yu Nikhang took a bath and changed her clothes. Her body exuded a faint fragrance, and she didn't disturb him. She swallowed an Earthstep soul pill and began to attack the 5th level Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm. As Yi Chunfeng absorbed the killing intent that had entered his body during the day and began to condense the second killing halo, his keen perception pierced through the soundproofing spells outside the green bamboo house. He sensed danger approaching. Over a dozen 10,000 Kills gang members were lying in ambush in the green bamboo forest, preparing to ambush him. They really don't know the meaning of death. Yi Chunfeng was not a soft-hearted person. As he sensed the 10,000 Kills gang's intentions, a thick killing intent burst out from his eyes. When we attack, kill that brat who doesn't know the immensity of the heavens and earth. But the gang master is very interested in that great beauty. Remember not to harm her. Otherwise, if the gang master blames us, we won't be able to bear the consequences. A 5th level Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm old man solemnly warned. His entire body was covered in a black robe. His eyes were sunken into his cheeks, his hair was slightly gray, and his voice was slightly hoarse. Don't worry, Third Elder. We know what to do. The dozen or so 10,000 Kills gang members didn't put Yi Chunfeng in their eyes at all and repeatedly assured him. I'm afraid you won't have the chance. Just as they were about to attack, a bone-chilling voice suddenly rang out in their ears. The black-robed sword spirit puppet, whose entire body seemed to be one with the night, appeared behind them and said in a sinister voice, Don't worry. Who are you? Seeing the strange appearance of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man and the others were shocked. They fused with their spirit beasts and looked at him as if they were facing a great enemy. I'm the one who will kill you. The sword puppet spoke without a trace of emotion. A sharp sword aura erupted from his body and locked onto the black-robed old man and the others, making them feel suffocated. Not good. This person is a 6th level Mystic Beast Ancestor expert. We are no match for him. Quickly break out of here and leave this place." After confirming the strength of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man and the others trembled in their hearts. They gave up the idea of attacking Yi Chunfeng and wanted to split up and escape. Kill! The sword puppet's gem-like eyes shot out a dense killing intent. A large amount of energy burned in his body. Unparalleled sword rays bloomed in his body like blooming lotuses and attacked the black-robed old man and the others. Following a series of blood-curdling screams, the bodies of the 10,000 Kills gang members were split open by the sword rays shot out by the sword puppet. They fell into a pool of blood and died on the spot. Although the 5th-level mystic beast ancestor, white-haired old man, resisted the attack of the sword puppet's split sword rays with his strength, he was still seriously injured. More importantly, he realized that in just 2 breaths, all the 10,000 Kills gang members who came to assassinate Yi Chunfeng, except for him, were killed by the sword puppet. He was so scared that he lost 2 of his souls. Self-destructing rock explode for me. After experiencing the terror of the sword puppet, the black-robed old man quickly took out a self-destructing rock from his Chinquan ring and threw it at Yi Chunfeng. Boom! A terrifying self-destructing force exploded, forming a destructive storm that swallowed the sword puppet directly. Blood escape. Seizing this opportunity, the black-robed old man burned his blood and chi without hesitation and used the blood escape that could greatly increase his speed. He turned into a bloody light and tried to escape. However, the sword puppet had already locked onto him. The moment he used the blood escape to escape, the sword puppet immediately tore apart the destructive storm. A sword ray that traversed the void slashed through the void, leaving a sword mark in the night sky. The sword slashed at the black-robed old man who couldn't dodge in time. Bang! The black-robed old man's body exploded. Blood and broken limbs scattered all over the ground. The sword puppet killed the black-robed old man and the others at lightning speed. Yi Chunfeng mysteriously appeared outside and used the 8-Sha Azura art to absorb the drifting death chi in the air. He took away their belongings and disappeared into the night like a ghost. He passed through the soundproof restriction and returned to the room. Why are these people so poor? Yi Chunfeng used the power of the God-Eater brain to break open the Chinquan bags of the black-robed old man and the others. He found that there was almost nothing valuable in their Chinquan bags. Even the soul crystals were pitifully few. What is this? When the God-Eater brain broke open the Chinquan bag of the black-robed old man, Yi Chunfeng unexpectedly found a black stone the size of a quail egg. It contained the power of slaughter. Could this be the stone of slaughter that can increase the power of weapons? Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. He was interested in the stone of slaughter. At the same time, the 10,000 Kills gang spies discovered the black-robed old man and the others' corpses. They immediately sent the news back to the gang. What? Old Black and the others are all dead? The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills gang, who was tall and sturdy and had a full beard. His muscles moved like snakes on his body, making him look like a human bear. When he heard this news, he flew into a rage. A powerful killing intent was emitted from his body. Gather the gang's experts and follow me to the green bamboo house to kill that brat. I want to chop him up and feed him to the dogs. Gang master, calm your anger. That brat was able to kill Old Black and the others. His strength is not simple. Looking at the enraged 10,000 Kills gang master, a shrewd old man in a gray robe with a goatee and gold-rimmed glasses said, I suggest we borrow the hands of others to get rid of him. Borrow whose hands? The 10,000 Kills gang master frowned and asked in a low voice. If my guess is correct, they will definitely go to the killing fields tomorrow. My 10,000 Kills gang has always cooperated with the killing fields. We can ask the killing fields to arrange some ruthless people to deal with him. This way, we can borrow the hands of the killing fields to eliminate him. The gray-robed old man suggested. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Chapter 264. Early in the morning, the first rays of the morning sun peeked out. The east was white, and the rising sun dyed the sky a rosy color, dazzling and enchanting. When the gentle rays of sunlight shone through the window, Yu Nikhang woke up from her deep sleep. "Morning, Chengfeng." Yu Nikhang, who was wearing a white chiffon nightgown, slowly sat up and stretched lazily, revealing her enchanting curves. "Morning." Looking at Yu Nichang's plump, voluptuous, and sexy body, Yi Chenfeng had to admit that Yu Nikhang was indeed too enchanting. "Today, we're going to the slaughterhouse. Keep this small bottle of Heavenly Fate water well. Remember to take it at the crucial moment. It can instantly restore your expended soul power and save your life." Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath, calmed down his restless heart, and gave her a small bottle of the precious water of Heavenly Fate. "All right, Nikhang, quickly change your clothes. I'll wait for you outside." Seeing the mesmerizing whiteness in Moon Raymond's nightgown at such a close distance, and smelling the faint fragrance on her body, Yi Chenfeng's little heart that had just suppressed started to beat restlessly again. He didn't dare to stay for too long and ran away amidst Moon Raymond's wanton laughter. After about an incense stick's worth of time, Moon Raymond walked out. She was wearing a tight-fitting jumpsuit that tightly wrapped around her voluptuous body. Her enchanting figure and slender legs were like poison, emitting a fatal charm. "AI, I really should spend money to buy you a human skin mask. You'll be in trouble if you go out dressed like this." Looking at the sexy Yu Nikhang, Yi Chenfeng could already foresee that there would be endless trouble waiting for him. "With you protecting me, I'm not afraid." Yu Nichang's alluring red lips curled up slightly. She intimately held onto Yi Chenfeng's arm and left the green bamboo residence with him. They went to the busiest slaughterhouse in the outer city. This slaughterhouse has such a terrifying aura. When Yi Chenfeng and Yu Nikhang arrived at the slaughterhouse, which was hundreds of feet high and was made of black steel stone, they immediately felt a strong visual impact. It could be said that the slaughterhouse in front of them was like a meteorite that had fallen to the mortal world. It had experienced the wind and rain and witnessed the changes of the slaughterhouse. "What a pretty girl. Brat, I'll give you 100,000 low-grade soul crystals. How about you give this girl to me?" Just as Yi Chenfeng and Yu Chang were looking at the killing field up close, a level 3 profound beast ancestor with bronze skin and thick hair walked over. His eyes were narrowed into slits as he looked at Yu Chang's hot body with a burning gaze and spoke in a domineering manner. "Ha ha ha, you want me? I'm afraid you're not qualified." Yu Nichang's alluring red lips curled up at an enchanting angle. A strong killing intent flashed in her beautiful eyes as she locked onto the short man. In the next moment, two extremely fast sword lights flew out of Yu Nichang's chinquin pouch and pierced towards the short man at a speed that was difficult to be seen with the naked eye. Chi! The short man's body was penetrated by the cold wood and autumn water treasures. A large amount of blood spurted out from his body. Bang! The short man's eyes gradually lost their light as he fell heavily into a pool of blood and died. "Let's go, Nikhang. Let's go in." Yi Chenfeng swept his gaze over the short man's corpse. His expression did not change at all. Together with Yu Nichang, who had reverted to her demoness form, he walked into the bustling killing field. Walking into the slaughterhouse, Yi Chenfeng immediately smelled the pungent smell of blood in the air. The Eicha Azura technique in his body involuntarily started to circulate and absorb the drifting death chi in the air. Feeling more and more death chi gathering in his body, Yi Chenfeng had a feeling that even if he did not fight, as long as he cultivated here for a month, he would be able to condense the second slaughtering halo. At this time, the slaughterhouse was surrounded by a ring of spectators. There were many huge arenas where intense battles were taking place. "Kill him! Kill! Chop him into mincemeat! Kill! Kill!" The fierce battles and the sharp screams were like catalysts that stimulated the hearts of the spectators in the stands, making their blood boil. They were deeply immersed in the battle and could not extricate themselves. They enjoyed this kind of bloody excitement very much. "Bastard, go to hell for me." A burly level 4 mystic beast ancestor with explosive muscles and a heavy hammer in his hand roared. With a powerful impact, he smashed towards a short, skinny man in front of him. Seeing that the short man was about to be smashed into a meat patty by the heavy hammer, Suddenly, the short man with a pair of iron claws moved. His whole body spun like a fish and turned into a stream in the air, drilling into the bald man's chest. Kacha! The crisp sound of bones breaking rang out. The bald man's hairy chest was twisted into a bloody hole. His bloody body directly exploded and turned into a cloud of blood mist. He died on the spot. 19 consecutive wins. One more win, and I will get the identity token to enter the slaughterhouse inner city. The short man looked coldly at the bald man's dismembered body and jumped down from the arena. Let's go. Let's go register for the competition. Yi Chen-feng watched a few matches and discovered that the two sides of the duels weren't very strong, so he didn't continue watching. Instead, he went to the registration area with Moon Raiment and handed over 500,000 low-grade soul crystals. He received a black token of slaughter that was forged from special material. It could transmit information about the duel and record the number of victories. Sect leader, Elder Tan, just sent me a message. Those two people have already registered. He's currently arranging opponents for those two people. Just as Yi Chen-feng and Yu Nikhang registered, the gang leader, who was sitting on the east side of the stands and hugging two delicate beauties, received the news. Thank Elder Tan on my behalf, but tell him that I only want that brat's life. Don't hurt that woman. After this matter is settled, I will definitely reward him. Seeing Yu Nikhang beside Yi Chen-feng, who was wearing a tight one-piece suit that outlined her voluptuous figure and exuded an enchanting charm, the gang leader's eyes lit up. Compared to Yu Nikhang, he felt that the two beauties in his arms were nothing more than chickens. He immediately lost interest. Yes, gang leader. I will contact Elder Tan. The gang leader nodded. Brat, I will soon let you know the consequences of going against my gang leader. However, I will take good care of the little beauties beside you. The gang leader's eyes flashed with a cruel light. It was as if he had already grasped Yi Chen-feng and Yu Nichang's fate in his hands. It's my turn. Martial stage number 4. Yi Chen-feng and Yu Nikhang waited for a while. Suddenly, the slaughterhouse black token at Yi Chen-feng's waist lit up. After receiving the information about his match, Yi Chen-feng slowly stood up. Chen-feng, be careful. Yu Nikhang whispered. You be careful too. Yi Chen-feng nodded and walked towards martial stage number 4. And it's him. Chapter 265. Unstoppable. Who would have thought that the killing fields would give me such a big gift? Interesting, very interesting. When the short man saw Yi Chen-feng, he was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that his opponent for the 20th round would only be a first-grade mystic beast ancestor. Brat, I have to say your luck is really bad, but I'm in a good mood today. I'll give you a quick death. The short man looked at Yi Chen-feng with disdain, completely not putting him in his eyes. Really? But I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Yi Chen-feng said with a calm expression. The Corpse King hammer that weighed more than 100,000 jin appeared in his hand. Yeah, is this Yi Chen-feng out his mind? He actually chose to use so many troops to deal with Cho Chi. Could it be that he didn't watch Cho Chi's matches? Doesn't he know that his forte is speed? When the 10,000 Kills gang leader saw the Corpse King hammer in Yi Chen-feng's hand, he was stunned for a moment. Then, a mocking smile appeared on his face. The 10,000 Kills gang leader wasn't the only one paying attention to Yi Chen-feng's match. Many people who were infatuated with Yu Nikhang were also paying attention to him. They kept praying in their hearts that Yi Chen-feng would be killed quickly. That way, they would have a chance to get a share of Yu Nikhang. 3 moves, and I'll send you to hell, Cho Chi said domineeringly as he put on the sharp claws that were forged from special materials and were comparable to high-grade, Earth-tier weapons. You talk too much nonsense. It's hard for me to imagine that someone like you can achieve 19 consecutive victories, Yi Chen-feng said impatiently. You are courting death. Hearing Yi Chen-feng's ridicule, Cho Chi flew into a rage. A powerful, baleful aura was emitted from his body. His thin and small body turned into a stream of light, stabbing towards Yi Chen-feng's chest. Cho Chi's attack could be said to be extremely fast, causing many people to be unable to catch his lightning-fast speed. However, Yi Chen-feng's soul had been tempered by the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor and was incomparably powerful. He easily captured the trajectory of his attack and erupted with 650,000 gene of strength. He swung the heavy Corpse King hammer and smashed it down. What? Cho Chi, who was attacking at full speed, only saw a flash in front of his eyes. The Corpse King hammer with 650,000 gene of strength bombarded his attack trajectory, making him unable to dodge. Boom! After forcing Cho Chi back with one hammer strike, Yi Chunfeng followed up with another attack. The Corpse King hammer, which was powerful enough to smash a small mountain, smashed towards Cho Chi. The terrifying pressure made him feel suffocated. Cho Chi didn't dodge. A scorching hot soul power gushed out from his body and fused into his claws, turning into two fireballs that bombarded the Corpse King hammer. Boom! Boom! Two loud sounds. Cho Chi's hellfire was smashed apart by the Zombie King hammer with a force of 650,000 gene. The powerful force surged into his arms and injured his body. A mouthful of blood uncontrollably spurted out from his mouth. What? How can this brat be so strong? Did he hide his strength? Looking at the claws that were smashed by the Corpse King hammer, the heavily injured Cho Chi was shocked to the extreme. He couldn't imagine that Yi Chunfeng's fighting strength was so terrifying. Not only Cho Chi was shocked, the 10,000 Kills Gang leader and the others also looked like they had seen a ghost. They couldn't imagine what they were seeing. Flaming Bird fuse. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's shocking attack power, Cho Chi no longer hid his strength. A large flaming bird fused into his body, increasing his strength to the greatest extent. Heavenly Hellfire Fist. Raising his strength to the limit, Cho Chi immediately used the strongest soul skill he knew. Fiery meteor-like fist lights shot out, bombarding Yi Chunfeng in a densely packed manner. Shape-shifting phantom. A light flashed under Yi Chunfeng's feet. In a very short time, he moved, dodging the heavenly hellfire fist, and approached the shocked Cho Chi. So fast, Cho Chi was most confident in his speed, but seeing Yi Chunfeng's speed in dodging the heavenly hellfire fist, he was stunned. When he came back to his senses and wanted to dodge, a cold air was emitted from Yi Chunfeng's body, freezing his legs. It's over. Yi Chunfeng fiercely smashed the Corpse King hammer at Cho Chi. 650,000 gene of strength exploded from the Corpse King hammer, bombarding his body, breaking his body's defense, and smashing his thin body into minced meat. Eight-Sha Jura Art Fuse. After killing Cho Chi, Yi Chunfeng immediately operated the Eight-Sha Azura Art, absorbing the death aura emitted from his body and further condensing the killing halo. Cho Chi is dead. Cho Chi, who had 1 foot in the 5th rank Mystic Beast Ancestor Realm, actually died. The 10,000 Kills Gang leader opened his eyes wide, looking at Yi Chunfeng in disbelief. He couldn't believe that he actually killed Cho Chi. Yi Chunfeng defeated Cho Chi with an overwhelming advantage, and Unikang also defeated an opponent 3 ranks lower than her with absolute strength, obtaining her first victory. Yi Chunfeng returned to the resting area, and before he could recover, the Black Slaughter token once again conveyed the competition information to him. So fast, Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly. He didn't expect it to be his turn so soon. He went to the 3rd stage and waited for his opponent. Soon, a burly middle-aged man with long black hair, casually draped over his shoulders and a heavy axe on his back, leaped onto the stage, exuding a strong, oppressive aura. He looked unrestrained and unrestrained. In 37 consecutive victories. Seeing the number 37 on the Black Slaughter token on the heavy axeman's waist, Yi Chunfeng felt suspicious. He felt that someone had purposely arranged his opponents, and that they were all very strong. Although he had witnessed the scene of Yi Chunfeng killing Cho Chi, the heavy axeman's face didn't change at all. When he pulled out the heavy axe on his back, a black bear appeared behind him, and his aura underwent a great change. A strong aura was emitted from his body, fluctuating the air and pressuring Yi Chunfeng. Feeling the pressure from the heavy axeman's aura, Yi Chunfeng's pupils shrank. The accumulated killing intent from the blood and bones emitted from his body and the terrifying killing intent made the heavy axe man's expression change for the first time. Kill. The competition started, and Yi Chun Feng and the heavy axe man moved at the same time. The two heavy weapons fiercely clashed together, and sparks flew everywhere. What a strong power! Facing the power of Yi Chun Feng's hammer head-on, the heavy axe man was shocked to find that Yi Chun Feng's power was actually above his. His right hand that was holding the heavy axe had a trace of numbness. After the first hammer, Yi Chun Feng's attack didn't slow down. He pushed his physical strength to the limit, swinging the Zombie King hammer that was more than 100,000 pounds, and launched a series of fierce attacks on the heavy axe man. The fierce attacks completely suppressed the heavy axe man, and the skin on his right arm that was holding the heavy axe was cracked, and a large amount of blood flowed out. Chi and blood burn. His attack was suppressed, and the heavy axe man's eyes were blood red. He roared and burned his chi and blood force to the maximum, increasing his own strength and trying to turn the situation around. Just as his strength was increased to the limit, and the powerful chi and blood force was rolling in his body, an extremely fast purple lightning rushed out from Yi Chun Feng's body and pierced his throat at a speed that was hard to be seen by the naked eye. Chi. The heavy axe man couldn't react in time, and his throat was pierced through by the purple spiritual thunder. His head exploded like a watermelon, and his strong body fell heavily to the ground dead. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record, and you will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 266. 20 consecutive victories. Su Man is dead. The Su Man who won 37 matches in a row and was unwilling to slaughter in the inner city has actually died. And from the beginning to the end, that person didn't even use the power of his spirit beast. Just which great influence raised such a peerless genius. Seeing Su Man being killed by Yi Chun Feng and lying in a pool of his own blood, the spectators who were paying attention to the battle were all stunned by Yi Chun Feng's strength. Purple lightning. Could it be that he subdued a kind of heaven and earth spirit water, and also a kind of heaven and earth spirit thunder? The 10,000 Kill Gang's leader gloomily looked at Yi Chun Feng. He discovered that Yi Chun Feng was even more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. After killing Su Man and absorbing the death energy emitted from his body, Yi Chun Feng returned to the resting area and waited for Yu Nichan's battle to end. Yu Nichan's opponent was far weaker than her. After resisting for 3 rounds, he immediately admitted defeat and lost the match. It seems that the one who deliberately targeted me was someone from the 10,000 Kill Gang. Yi Chun Feng discovered that his opponents were all first-class, ruthless people, but Yu Nichan's opponents were all weaker than her. He immediately guessed who it was that wanted to harm him. 10,000 Kill Gang. Since you want to kill me, then don't blame me for making you disappear from Slaughter City. Towards his enemies, Yi Chun Feng was never merciful. He had already given the death sentence to the 10,000 Kill Gang. As for the 10,000 Kill Gang being inextricably linked to Slaughter City, Yi Chun Feng didn't take it to heart. In the boundless years of Slaughter City, far too many influences had been born. If the 10,000 Kill Gang fell, then the 1,000 Kill Association, 100 Kill Hall, and other similar influences would rise up. To Slaughter City, there was no loss. And as long as he displayed enough strength and gained more exposure, then Slaughter City would have some misgivings. After all, compared to the Xingluo continent's super influences, there was still a considerable difference in strength. Before they figured out his background, they wouldn't dare to harm him. The third opponent is here. Yi Chun Feng wasn't afraid of being schemed against, so he didn't end the day's matches early. He waited patiently for half an incense stick's worth of time before his third opponent arrived. It was a young man who held a long spear and had an extraordinary bearing. He was at the peak of level 4 mystic beast ancestor and seemed to be from a large clan. "You're very strong. I know that I am not your opponent, but I will still fight with all my strength." The spear-wielding man did not underestimate Yi Chun Feng because of his cultivation level. Instead, he spoke with a solemn expression. If you can withstand one of my attacks, you win. Yi Chen-feng said indifferently when he sensed that the spear-wielding man had no killing intent other than battle intent in his eyes. The spear-wielding man didn't expect that Yi Chen-feng would look down on him so much. His face darkened, and a surge of anger ignited in his heart. A strong fighting spirit gushed out of his body, and his terrifying spiritual beast roared at Yi Chen-feng. "Be careful," Yi Chen-feng reminded him. The perfected sword aura gushed out of his body and soared into the sky. The powerful sword aura shook the restriction above the arena, causing ripples of energy to appear. It deeply shocked the spear-wielding man. "Perfected sword aura. You are actually a swordsman." After watching Yi Chen-feng's 2 matches, the spear-wielding man thought that Yi Chen-feng's sharpest attacks were his strength and purple spiritual thunder. He didn't expect that Yi Chen-feng was actually a swordsman who had comprehended the perfected sword aura. To be able to cultivate the sword aura to the perfected state, one must have talent, opportunity, and inheritance. A swordsman who had comprehended the perfected sword aura would have a limitless future. Instant kill sword. While the spear-wielding man was in a daze, Yi Chen-feng turned his body into a sword and slashed forcefully. The 600,000 kilograms of force merged with the perfected sword aura. A sword light that was faster than the speed of light cut through the space and slashed towards the spear-wielding man with astonishing destructive power. Soul-shaking spear. The spear-wielding man's pupil shrank. He gathered all the soul power in his body into the upper-grade, earth-grade spear in his hand. Like a dragon coming out of its cave, he thrust out his spear to the limit and pierced the sword aura. In the next moment, he felt a sword aura that was beyond his imagination, shattering the power of his spear. It broke through his body's defense and penetrated into his body, making him deeply feel the feeling of death. PFFF. A ball of blood spurted out from his mouth. The spear-wielding man was sent flying by Yi Chen-feng's sword aura. He left behind several balls of blood mist in the air and fell out of the arena. He had lost the match in a sorry state. Strong, too strong. Is he really only a first-grade mystic beast ancestor? This kid is most likely from the Xingluo continent's Holy Land. Otherwise, his background wouldn't be so deep. Yeah, daring to bring such a beautiful girl to Slaughter City, his background must not be small. After seeing the scene of Yi Chen-feng defeating the spear-wielding man in one move, the audience in the stands started to discuss and guess the identity of Yi Chen-feng. After defeating his third opponent without any suspense, Yi Chen-feng did not leave the arena. He stood straight like a steel spear in the center of the arena and said in a deep voice, "Next, Kacha." Seeing Yi Chen-feng's extraordinary figure and hearing his domineering voice, the 10,000 Kills Gang leader was so angry that he crushed the teacup in his hand. His body emitted a thick, evil aura as he roared. "Too arrogant. This kid is too arrogant. Contact Elder Tan for me and tell him that as long as he can kill this Yi Chen-feng, I will increase the reward by 5 times. The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills clan had just finished speaking when he suddenly felt a terrifying aura lock onto him. He hurriedly looked at Yi Chen-feng, and his sharp gaze collided with hers. Meeting Yi Chen-feng's gaze, which was as sharp as a knife, the 10,000 Kills Gang leader's heart inexplicably trembled. He felt that just by standing there, Yi Chen-feng gave him a feeling of being the master of the world, as if the entire world was in his hands. Yi Chen-feng had already guessed that the person who was targeting him was most likely sitting in one of the luxurious stands. Therefore, when the 10,000 Kills Gang leader flew into a rage, his extraordinary soul spirit locked onto him. Tell Elder Tan that as long as he can eliminate this kid, I will give him 10 times the reward. The 10,000 Kills Gang leader didn't think that Yi Chen-feng would discover him amongst tens of thousands of people. In addition to his astonishing performance and his terrifying background, a deep sense of unease and fear rose in his heart. Elder Tan, what should we do? Should we continue arranging opponents for him? Also, the 10,000 Kills Gang leader just sent a message to you. saying that as long as we arrange for people to kill Yi Chen-feng, he is willing to give us 10 times the reward. At the same time, a tall man in black robes arrived at the back hall. He asked Elder Tan, who was in charge of arranging the matches for the entire killing field. Humph, 10 times the reward. Elder Tan coldly snorted. To kill a genius with a Holy Land background, is 10 times the reward enough? Cancel my original arrangement and arrange normal opponents for him. Don't let him see any suspicions, lest he transfers his resentment to us. Yes, Elder Tan, I will make the arrangements. The black-clothed man obeyed. Soon, Yi Chen-feng's fourth opponent, a beautiful young woman with heavy makeup and revealing clothes, stepped onto the stage. Little handsome brother, I've already won 13 matches in a row. How about you let me win? As long as you let me win, I can agree to any request you have. I guarantee that I will serve you well. The beautiful young woman threw a flirtatious glance at Yi Chen-feng, speaking in an extremely seductive manner. One move. As long as you can withstand one of my attacks, it will be your win. Yi Chen-feng coldly looked at the beautiful young woman whose figure and appearance couldn't compare with Yunyi's, speaking without the slightest trace of emotion. Seeing Yi Chen-feng being so unreasonable, the beautiful young woman gnashed her teeth in anger. But she really didn't dare to fight with Yi Chen-feng. After hesitating for a while, she finally unwillingly admitted defeat, giving Yi Chen-feng his fourth consecutive victory. After the beautiful young woman, Elder Tan ordered people to continuously arrange opponents for Yi Chen-feng. But Yi Chen-feng's opponents weren't very strong, and most of them admitted defeat on the spot. Soon, Yi Chen-feng's winning streak reached 20 matches, and he easily obtained the identity token to enter the inner city. As for Yu Kang, although she wasn't as relaxed as Yi Chen-feng, she also won one match after another. When the sky gradually darkened, she had also obtained 20 consecutive victories, and also obtained the qualifications to enter the inner city. Let's go, we're going back. After obtaining 20 consecutive victories, Yi Chen-feng didn't make any more moves. He coldly glanced at the 10,000 Kills gang's leader, and then left with Yu Kang, who had also obtained 20 consecutive victories. Looking at their departing backs, the 10,000 Kills gang's leader's face was gloomy as he constantly thought of a plan to deal with them. He had a feeling that if he couldn't eliminate Yi Chen-feng, then what awaited him and the 10,000 Kills gang was likely to be annihilated. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 267. People of the Evil Way. The Slaughter City at night was even more bustling than during the day. All sorts of restaurants and brothels were brightly lit. Numerous gorgeously dressed women shuttled back and forth between the crowds on the streets. Alcohol and lust were intertwined together, causing one to fall deeply into it and be unable to extricate themselves. What should we do? What do you think we should do? When the 10,000 Kills gang leader recalled the terrifying gaze Yi Chen-feng had shot him before he left, as well as the fact that he was suspected to be from a holy land, he couldn't eat or sleep in peace. If he had another chance to choose, he definitely wouldn't have dared to provoke Yi Chen-feng, much less have any ideas about Yu Kang. Gang leader, that Yi Chen-feng must be eliminated. Otherwise, he will become the nightmare of our 10,000 Killers gang. An old man with a goatee and a gray robe, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, said with a solemn expression. He hadn't expected Yi Chen-feng to be so powerful. He had only used a single day to complete 20 consecutive victories. Moreover, the various hidden cards he had revealed made people suspect that he might have come from a super holy land of the Xingluo continent. Nonsense! Do you think I don't know that I must get rid of him? The leader of the 10,000 Kills gang said with a gloomy face, but how do we kill him? If he really comes from the super holy land of the Xingluo continent, do we dare to kill him? Generally speaking, only forces of the 7th rank and above that had a peerless emperor could be called a holy land. If Yi Chen-feng really came from a holy land, not to mention them, even the overlord of Slaughter City, the king of slaughter, would not dare to offend him. We don't dare to kill him without any scruples, but someone else dares to kill him. The gray-robed elder's eyes shone with a sinister light. Who? Evil cultivators, the gray-robed elder said. When he heard the gray-robed elder say the name, even with the ferocity of the 10,000 Kills gang leader, he felt his scalp go numb and his brows furrowed tightly together. The evil cultivator was a rogue cultivator with a life in Slaughter City. He was also a great devil who killed without batting an eyelid. He was temperamental and had killed countless people. Moreover, he liked to torture and eat the hearts of living people. He was a character that made people feel fear just by hearing his name. Many people in Slaughter City wanted to kill him, but he was a half-step defiant beast king. He had accumulated too much murderous intent in his body, so he was still alive and well after several decades. If the evil path is willing to help, we can indeed get rid of that Yichen Feng. But I'm afraid we will have to pay a huge price. The 10,000 Kills gang leader said with a frown. Gang leader, we have no way out. If we can't get rid of that Yichen Feng, I'm afraid our 10,000 Kills gang will be in danger of being exterminated. The gray-robed elder advised. As long as we survive this crisis, we will be able to recoup our losses sooner or later. All right, what do you think can move the evil Dao people? The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills sect asked in a low voice. Slaughter points. Only slaughter points can move the evil Dao people, said the gray-robed elder. Take 5,000 slaughter points and ask the evil cultivator to kill Yichen Feng. If he thinks it's too little, give him 2 high-grade earth items. The sect leader of the 10,000 Kills sect hardened his heart and said with a bit of pain, compared to high-grade earth items, slaughter points were much more precious. As long as you had enough slaughter points, you could even buy top-grade earth items. Yes, I will contact the evil cultivator. The gray-robed elder nodded and personally went to ask the evil cultivator to deal with Yichen Feng. In a gloomy courtyard in the outer city of Slaughter City, bone-chilling wails could be heard from time to time. An old man in a crimson Taoist robe, who had a necklace made of children's skulls around his neck, and whose eyes were sunken into his cheeks, was holding a sharp dagger and stabbing it into the chest of a young man who was tied to a wooden stake and trembling all over. As the young man wailed in pain, he cruelly dug out the young man's beating heart and swallowed it into his stomach with great enjoyment. When the gray-robed elder saw this scene, he immediately felt his scalp go numb and his stomach turn. However, he didn't dare to show the slightest bit of reaction. He suppressed his disgust and fear and stood to the side patiently waiting. Delicious. The heart of a living person is truly delicious. After eating the bloody heart, the evil cultivator revealed an expression of enjoyment. When he licked the blood off his fingers, he looked at the gray-robed elder and said with a hoarse voice, Your 10,000 Kills sect wants to use 5,000 slaughter points to hire me to kill a first-grade mystic beast ancestor brat. Yes, I wonder if Senior has the time? The gray-robed elder nodded and respectfully said, Where did that brat come from? The evil cultivator's sunken eyes shined with a dark light as he asked in a low voice. That person is suspected to be from a holy land. However, this is only our guess and has yet to be confirmed. The gray-robed elder didn't dare to conceal anything and frankly said, You want to hire me to kill a genius from a holy land for 5,000 slaughter points? Aren't I too cheap? The evil cultivator's voice suddenly turned cold, causing the gray-robed elder to break out in a cold sweat. Senior, please calm your anger. My 10,000 Kills sect has absolutely no intention of looking down on Senior. It's just that my 10,000 Kills sect's expenses are too great and the slaughter points we have accumulated are limited. How about this? Besides the 5,000 slaughter points, I will also give Senior 2 high-grade earthly tools. The gray-robed elder fearfully said, afraid that this temperamental evil cultivator would kill him. Give me a portrait of the person you want to kill and where he lives. Tomorrow morning, I'll send his head to your 10,000 Kills gang. When the corrupt cultivator heard the gray-robed elder raise the price, his expression softened and he spoke in a hoarse voice. Yes, Senior. The gray-robed elder secretly let out a sigh of relief. He left behind Yi Chunfeng's portrait, 2 high-grade earthly tools, and a black slaughter card with 5,000 slaughter points. Then he quickly left. Chunfeng, should we continue the competition tomorrow, or go directly to the inner city? After returning to her room, Hang changed into a set of loose clothes and laid down on the soft bed, asking Yi Chunfeng for his opinion. I plan to obtain the 100 Victories badge and exterminate the 10,000 kills sect before going to the inner city. Yi Chunfeng took a sip of the fragrant tea, his eyes flashing with a sharp light. Exterminate the 10,000 kills sect? Aren't you afraid of Slaughter City taking revenge? They might be related to Slaughter City. Yi Hang worriedly said. Don't worry, Hang. Once the 10,000 kills sect is destroyed, there will immediately be a new power to replace it. Slaughter City will not suffer any losses. Moreover, before they figure out our background, they won't make a move so easily. Also, as long as I can obtain the 100 Victories badge, I will be able to increase my exposure and let more people know about me. This way, even if things get out of hand, Slaughter City will have some misgivings. After all, no matter how deep Slaughter City's background is, it cannot be compared to a holy land. It seems like you've already planned this. Yu Nikhang revealed a charming smile and said, Chingfeng, I find that I like you more and more. How about you stay with me tonight? Forget it. My small body can't withstand your torment. I'll go outside and cultivate. Seeing the crafty look in Yu Nichang's eyes, Yi Chunfeng knew that she was deliberately teasing him. He suppressed his restless little heart and bitterly smiled. He went outside and sat on a wooden bed. He circulated the 8-Sha Azura technique to condense the death aura that he absorbed during the day and condense the second killing halo. The night was getting darker and darker. Just as Yi Chunfeng was condensing the second killing halo and gradually condensing the embryonic form of the killing halo, Yi Chunfeng's sharp perception suddenly sensed danger approaching. He opened his tightly closed eyes and his body flashed. Like a ghost, he quietly left the room. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 268. It's you, the evil cultivator, who is wearing a red Taoist robe and emitting a strong killing intent, only saw a flash of light in front of him. Yi Chunfeng appeared in front of him. When he saw Yi Chunfeng's face clearly, he was stunned. You're here to kill me, right? Although the evil cultivator's aura was very terrifying and seemed to be a half-step reverse Beast King expert, Yi Chunfeng's expression didn't change at all. Interesting, very interesting. I didn't expect that with your cultivation, you would be able to sense my presence. Not only did you not run, you even dared to come out. The evil cultivator opened his mouth and spoke in a hoarse voice filled with murderous intent. If you want to kill me, then come with me. After saying that, Yi Chunfeng's body swayed slightly and melted into the darkness, running towards the beaches around Slaughter City at an extremely fast speed. You want to run? Seeing Yi Chunfeng suddenly speed up, the evil cultivator immediately released a powerful aura to lock onto him. He turned into a black shadow and chased after Yi Chunfeng. Soon, Yi Chunfeng led the evil cultivator to a deserted beach. Why aren't you running anymore? The evil cultivator saw Yi Chunfeng suddenly stop running and turn around to wait for him. He frowned and spoke in a hoarse voice. I think this place is not bad. It's very suitable to be your grave. Yi Chunfeng put his hands behind his back and spoke with a murderous aura. Ha ha ha, Xing, do you still not know who I am? Hearing Yi Chunfeng's arrogant words, the evil cultivator laughed as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. A chilling, murderous aura spread out from his body and swept toward Yi Chunfeng. I'm not interested in the identity of a dead person. Yi Chunfeng ignored the evil cultivator's murderous aura and spoke in a domineering manner. Xing, I swear I'll cut open your body bit by bit and let you watch me eat your heart. I'll let you taste all the pain in the world before killing you. The evil cultivator's face darkened as he swore. A sword with a skull embedded in its hilt appeared in his hand. It was 6 feet 6 inches long and covered in dark runes. It was a top-grade, earth-grade longsword. Rip! The sound of cloth tearing could be heard. The evil cultivator's sword pierced through the air towards Yi Chenfeng's chest. Yi Chenfeng's eyes widened in shock. Seeing that the evil cultivator's sword was about to pierce through Yi Chenfeng's chest, his body slightly swayed, and he instantly transformed into 9 shadows, dodging the attack. Your speed isn't bad, but let me see how many moves you can dodge. The evil cultivator coldly snorted in his murderous aura. He was about to continue to attack. Roar! A high-pitched dragon roar was emitted from Yi Chenfeng's body. Facing the evil cultivator, who was a half-step reverse beast king, Yi Chenfeng decisively integrated the power of the two-headed blood dragon king and raised his strength to the limit of a 6th-level mystic beast grandmaster. Two-headed dragon. Your spiritual beast is actually a mutated two-headed dragon. Seeing Yi Chenfeng's spiritual beast, the two-headed blood dragon king, the evil cultivator's skinny face revealed a trace of surprise. He had lived for nearly 1,000 years, but he had never seen anyone with a dragon as their spiritual beast. Moreover, Yi Chenfeng's spiritual beast was not an ordinary dragon, but a mutated two-headed blood dragon king that had evolved twice. 8 Sha Azura Art. After integrating the power of the two-headed blood dragon king, Yi Chenfeng immediately condensed a killing halo, doubling his attack power. The powerful killing intent made the evil cultivator feel pressured. I didn't expect you to hide so deeply, but I like to kill geniuses like you the most. I think your heart must be delicious. The evil cultivator, who had been wandering between life and death all year round, quickly returned to normal. A black snake was hovering above his head. I'm afraid you won't have the chance. After saying that, a terrifying soul power completely erupted from Yi Chenfeng's body. As he took a step forward, a large amount of sand filled the air, and a warship faster than the speed of light slashed towards the evil cultivator. Evil sky slash. The evil cultivator's pupil shrank. The skeleton, sword in his hand, surged with demonic aura. The sword pierced through the night and shattered Yi Chenfeng's warship. They fought fiercely on the vast beach. Boom, boom, boom. A series of deafening explosions rang out. Yi Chenfeng and the evil cultivator fought fast and did not give way to each other. The fierce attacks stirred up a terrifying storm. Countless warships lit up the dark night sky, illuminating the beach within a radius of several miles as if it was daytime. 4 slaughter styles, remnant blood. After fighting fiercely for an incense stick's worth of time, a terrifying killing intent surged out from Yi Chenfeng's body. Perfect sword force. 350,000 gene of strength poured into the gigantic Fault Heavenly Sword. Under the double amplification of the slaughter halo, a blood-red warship was slashed out towards the evil cultivator. Evil sky cross slash. The evil cultivator roared. A large amount of demonic aura and soul power fused together, forming 2 intersecting crosses, forcibly blocking the remnant blood attack. Apricot, the game is over. After neutralizing the 4 slaughter styles, the evil cultivator spat out more than 10 mouthfuls of blood mist. A large amount of blood mist quickly condensed, forming a large blood-red net that enveloped Yi Chenfeng, wanting to trap him inside. This lousy move is your trump card? Yi Chenfeng was not flustered by the net formed by the evil cultivator's blood mist. Instead, he mocked. You're about to die, yet you're still so stubborn. Die for me. The evil cultivator's eyes emitted dense, killing intent. The evil sky cross slash once again slashed out, whistling towards Yi Chenfeng, wanting to split him into 4. Green spirit fire, break the net. At the crucial moment, the green spirit fire surged out of Yi Chenfeng's body, instantly melting the net that bound him, restoring his mobility. Eternal night. In the next moment, a high-pitched dragon's roar resounded from Yi Chenfeng's body. An extremely sharp black warship that could swallow heaven and earth slashed out, cutting through all obstacles. Wherever the warship passed, it left behind a deep sword mark. The entire beach seemed to have been split apart by Yi Qinfeng's sword. Rumble. The two powerful soul skills clashed together, as if a heavenly thunder had exploded. A powerful energy storm surged out in all directions like a tidal wave, causing huge waves to rise. Spirit fire, you actually subdued a ball of spirit fire. Seeing the green spirit fire burning on the surface of Yi Qinfeng's body, the evil cultivator's heart trembled. He realized that Yi Qinfeng was far more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. Furthermore, he had fused with his spiritual beast, the two-headed blood dragon king, and his strength was not weaker than his own. Purple spiritual lightning. The eternal night worship broke through the evil cultivator's attack. The extremely destructive purple spiritual lightning and the ancient cold mysterious ice that was comparable to heavenly water both surged out of Yi Qinfeng's body and attacked the evil cultivator. Heavenly water and heavenly lightning. How did you do it? It was already very heaven-defying for an ordinary person to subdue a single heavenly treasure. However, Yi Qinfeng had subdued 3 heavenly treasures at once. Furthermore, these 3 heavenly treasures did not restrain or restrict each other in his body. This set off a huge wave in the evil cultivator's heart, and he wanted to retreat. Blood Qi Burn, Demonic Wind, 13 Swords. Relying on his powerful strength to resist the attacks of the ancient cold mysterious ice and purple spiritual lightning, the evil cultivator didn't hesitate to burn his blood qi to increase his strength to the greatest extent. He slashed out 13 swords at Yi Qinfeng. The 13 warships were like a surging tide, continuous and unending. Each wave of attacks was stronger than the last, sweeping towards Yi Qinfeng in a final struggle. The evil cultivator burned his blood qi to display the demonic wind 13 swords. Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge. The green spirit fire, purple spiritual lightning, and profound cold spirit water surged out of his body. Under the control of the primal chaos divine wood, they quickly fused together, forming a ball of light filled with destructive power. As for the fusion of these 3 heavenly treasures, he had simulated it tens of thousands of times in his mind during his free time. With the help of the God-Eater brain and the primal chaos divine wood, he had created it himself. He named it the Fury of God's Punishment. Although Yi Qinfeng was a little unfamiliar with using the fury of God's punishment for the first time, the energy formed by the fusion of the 3 heavenly treasures was too terrifying. It was as if the end of the world had arrived, fluctuating and distorting the air. The terrifying, destructive energy was like the boundless power of God's punishment. It destroyed wave after wave of the demonic wind, 13 swords, and bombarded the evil cultivator's body under the horrified gaze of the evil cultivator. Boom! A loud sound rang out. The space seemed to have collapsed, and a large hole appeared on the beach. More than half of the evil cultivator's body was destroyed by Yi Qinfeng's self-created fury of God's punishment, and a large amount of blood spurted out. His entire body flew backward for several thousand meters before landing heavily on the beach. He was almost out of breath. Soul-devouring art, devour. Before the evil cultivator died, Yi Qinfeng used the soul-devouring art and devoured the spirit beast that was beginning to dissipate in his mind, ending his evil life. After killing the evil cultivator, Yi Qinfeng immediately took his belongings and left before the experts of Slaughter City arrived. For mobile users, please visit /Mpiatia. Remember the URL. Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 269. 100 Victories Emblem. Qinfeng, is there trouble? When Yi Qinfeng, who was emitting a faint smell of blood, stepped into the dark night and returned to the green bamboo residence, Moon Raiment, who was wearing a loose nightgown and was barefooted and had long black hair casually draped over her shoulders, giving people the feeling that she was holding a pipa and covering her face, asked softly. Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, "Yes, it should be an expert invited by the 10,000 Kills gang, but I dealt with him. Qinfeng, I prepared a bath for you. Go wash up quickly. The smell of blood on your body is too disgusting." Yu Nikhang was like a newlywed wife, as she personally helped Yi Chunfeng take off his outer robes. Okay. Yi Chunfeng nodded and went to the bathroom. He took off his blood-stained clothes and soaked himself in the hot bathtub. His entire body and mind felt very relaxed, and the murderous aura on his body gradually dissipated. In this relaxed state, Yi Chunfeng quickly entered a state of meditation. The soul-devouring art circulated faster and faster, quickly refining the evil path's spirit beast. The evil path spirit beast was a half-step defiant beast king, so his spirit beast contained powerful soul force. Soon, Yi Chunfeng's spirit beast was overflowing with soul force. His foundation was incomparably solid, and his spirit beast, the two-headed blood dragon king, was comparable to a half-step defiant beast king. Boom! In the state of meditation, Yi Chunfeng's body trembled. His overflowing spirit force directly broke through the bottleneck, breaking through to the second-rank profound beast ancestor realm. His physical strength also increased slightly, reaching 700,000 Jin. I broke through. Feeling his spirit power increase, Yi Chunfeng opened his eyes. He felt that with his current strength, he could definitely contend against a first-ranked defiant beast king. After breaking through, Yi Chunfeng left the cold tub and took out a set of clothes from his spatial ring. After putting them on, he went outside to check his gains from killing the evil path's spirit beast. These are slaughter points? When he checked the evil cultivator's belongings, he found 18,000 slaughter points in his identity token. This corrupt cultivator is very rich. He actually has so many slaughter points. Yi Chunfeng was well aware of the value of slaughter points. With 18,000 slaughter points, he could purchase at least 3 top-grade Earth-grade artifacts. Other than his slaughter points, Yi Chunfeng had also obtained the Evil Spatial Slash, a high-grade Heaven-class soul skill, 2 top-grade Earth-class soul weapons, 8 high-grade Earth-class soul weapons, more than 300,000 mid-grade soul crystals, close to 100 million low-grade soul crystals, and a large number of spiritual pills. What is this? At the end of the inspection, Yi Chunfeng found a jade box sealed with a large number of runes in the Chinquan bag. When he broke the seal of the jade box, a powerful killing intent was released from the jade box. 4 slaughter stones. Looking at the black stones inside the jade box filled with slaughter energy, Yi Chunfeng was pleasantly surprised. In addition to the slaughter stone he obtained earlier, he now had 5 slaughter stones. This was enough to increase the quality of his titanic fault heavenly sword. In 3 days at most, I want to achieve 100 consecutive victories. After putting all of the evil cultivator's belongings into his spatial ring, Yi Chunfeng looked at the faint light outside the window and spoke with determination. What? Yi Chunfeng brought that beauty to the slaughter field and continued to fight, but the corrupt cultivator disappeared. The 10,000 Kills gang leader walked out of the room with a rosy and tender beauty in his arms. The gray-robed old man who had been waiting outside immediately came forward and told him a piece of important news. Are you sure you didn't see wrong? That Yi Chunfeng didn't die. The 10,000 Kills gang leader felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck him. His body swayed, and his good mood was gone. I didn't see wrong. That Yi Chunfeng just won 3 consecutive victories and is in the limelight. I've been trying to contact the corrupt cultivator, but I couldn't get in touch with him. The gray-robed old man said in fear. How could this be? Could it be that the corrupt cultivator failed to kill him and was killed by him instead? Thinking about how the corrupt cultivator couldn't kill Yi Chunfeng even with the strength of a half-step defiant beast king, the 10,000 Kills gang leader felt more and more uneasy. Large amounts of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Gang leader, do you think someone is secretly protecting him and killing the corrupt cultivator? Seeing the 10,000 Kills gang leader's serious expression, the gray-robed old man guessed that Yi Chunfeng definitely has an expert secretly protecting him. We've provoked a huge problem. An expert that can kill the corrupt cultivator can kill us like chickens. He most likely comes from the Xingluo continent's holy land, and he's also a peak genius of that holy land. The 10,000 Kills gang leader was at a loss. The more he thought about it, the more afraid he became. Go. Bring 20,000 slaughter points, 2 high-grade earth items, and a bottle of jade milk. Come with me to the killing field and wait for Yi Chenfeng. No matter what price we have to pay, we have to eliminate his hostility toward us." The 10,000 Kills gang leader steeled his heart and quietly ordered. If they hadn't provoked Yi Chenfeng's Su Qi, Lu Tong would have died without a doubt. The 10,000 Kills gang leader wished he could pull out their corpses and grind their bones to dust. Too fierce. That Yi Chenfeng is too fierce. Without using his spirit beast, he won 29 consecutive victories. If things continue like this, he really might be able to obtain the 100 victory badge. That's right. In addition to yesterday's win streak, he has already won 49 consecutive victories. Who can stop him from advancing? Seeing Yi Chenfeng cleanly defeat his 19th opponent, the ring-shaped spectator stands continuously let out cries of surprise. There were even some young and beautiful girls who were completely conquered by his strength, cheering for him without emotion. Yi Chen's unstoppable momentum allowed him to obtain 19 consecutive victories. Moon Raymond also obtained 10 consecutive victories, obtaining 100 slaughter points. I wonder how strong my next opponent will be. Yi Chenfeng stood in the martial arena with a high fighting spirit, patiently waiting for his 50th opponent. Elder Tan, that Yi Chenfeng has already won 49 consecutive victories. According to the rules, we'll have to arrange for our people to stop his next opponent. Let's do it according to the rules of the killing field. We can't break the rules because of him. Moreover, it's time to dampen his spirit, Elder Tan said with a gloomy expression. He didn't think that Yi Chenfeng's strength would be so terrifying. He had only used 2 days to complete 49 consecutive victories. It's here. Yi Chenfeng proudly stood in the martial arena, patiently waiting for half an incense stick of time. His keen perception sensed that a ruthless aura had appeared and locked onto him. Looking towards the source of the ruthless aura, Yi Chenfeng saw a man with dark skin and bronze armor appear. He looked like a wild beast. Soaring Wolf. That Yi Chenfeng's opponent is actually the level 6 profound beast ancestor, Soaring Wolf, who has 68 consecutive victories. This match is going to be exciting. I wonder if that Yi Chenfeng can defeat Soaring Wolf and obtain 50 consecutive victories. Since you've met me, your winning streak will end. Soaring Wolf's sharp eyes shot out a ruthless light. He looked at Yi Chenfeng as if he was looking at a prey. Is that so? Yi Chenfeng's lips curled up. He tyrannically said, "If I can't defeat you in one move, I admit defeat." What? Did I hear wrong? That Yi Chenfeng said he could defeat Soaring Wolf in one move. Too arrogant. That Yi Chenfeng is too arrogant. He thinks he is a peerless king. Not necessarily. I don't think that Yi Chenfeng is a reckless person. Maybe he can really create a miracle. Just as Yi Chenfeng's words fell, the entire stands exploded. However, the majority of people didn't think that he could defeat the level 6 profound beast ancestor, Soaring Wolf, in one move. You're courting death. Hearing Yi Chenfeng's disdainful words, Lang Tong was enraged. The image of a black wolf appeared around his body, and a violent soul force erupted from his body like a volcano. Wolf Phantom annihilates the heavens. Soaring Wolf roared. Several black wolf phantoms separated from his body. They carried a killing intent as they attacked Yi Chenfeng. When Soaring Wolf launched his thunderous attack, ancient profound ice, green spirit fire, and purple spirit lightning rushed out of Yi Chenfeng's body. Wrath of God's punishment. The fusion of the 3 great spiritual items formed a destructive energy that distorted a large area of space. It was like the power of divine punishment that shocked the heavens and enraged the earth. It bombarded the several black wolf shadows that were violently attacking. Rumble, 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 rumble. As the 2 powerful energies collided, it was like a thunderclap. The heavens and earth changed color, and the earth trembled. The terrifying energy directly shattered the shadows of the black wolves and swept towards the frightened Lang Tong like a tornado. Feeling the terrifying power of Yi Chenfeng's attack, Soaring Wolf used all of his abilities to try and neutralize it. However, the energy formed by the wrath of God's punishment surpassed his imagination. Pump, soaring wolf, who had nowhere to dodge, was struck by the wrath of God's punishment. The bronze armor on his body was immediately shattered. His mangled body was like a kite with a broken string. He fell off the stage. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this book. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 270. Xiahou Shuya One Move. That Yi Chunfeng really defeated the level 6 mystic beast ancestor Lang Tong with just one move. No, that can't be called a defeat. It's an instant kill. Which great power nurtured this freak Yi Chunfeng? His attack power is too terrifying. After witnessing the shocking scene and seeing Lang Tong lying in a pool of his own blood, the noisy slaughterhouse fell silent. Pairs of dazed eyes shot towards Yi Chunfeng. Almost everyone was convinced by his attack power. Let's stop here for today. Nick Hang, let's go back. After defeating Lang Tong in one move, Yi Chunfeng did not make another move. Under the respectful gazes of the crowd, he left with Yu Nikhang. Yi Chunfeng, in an inconspicuous corner of the slaughterhouse's spectator sat a young man in a blood-red robe. He had a square face and sharp eyebrows. His aura was turbid, and his eyes were like lightning. He was staring at Yi Chunfeng's departing figure, revealing a strong desire to fight. This blood-robed man was called Xiahou Shuya. He was very famous in the slaughterhouse because he was currently the only expert with a 19 to 18 consecutive victories. He was only one step away from the 100 victories emblem. Young Master Yi, may I have a word with you? Yi Chunfeng and Yu Nikhang were just about to leave the slaughterhouse when the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others quickly walked over and asked politely. After witnessing the shocking scene just now, the 10,000 Kills gang leader was scared out of his wits. Other than fear, there was only fear in his heart. He could only beg Yi Chunfeng to spare them. What do I have to say to you? Yi Chunfeng looked coldly at the 10,000 Kills gang leader and the others and asked coldly, Young Master Yi, it was all our fault. We failed to recognize Mount Tai and offended you. Now that we have repented, we only ask that young Master Yi give us a chance to turn over a new leaf. The 10,000 Kills gang leader put down his arrogance and begged Yi Chunfeng to spare them. Spare you? The corners of Yi Chunfeng's lips curled up slightly, and he said coldly, Why should I spare you? Young Master Yi, as long as you're willing to spare me, I'm willing to give you 20,000 slaughter points, 2 high-grade Earth-tier artifacts, and a bottle of milk jade. The 10,000 Kills gang leader said fearfully, cold sweat dripping down his back. 20,000 slaughter points? Aren't your lives too worthless? Although Yi Chunfeng knew that 20,000 slaughter points was already a lot, he didn't want to let them off so easily. Thus, he said without a trace of emotion, Young Master Yi, I wonder what it will take for you to release us? As long as you say it, my 10,000 Kills gang will definitely satisfy you. In order to survive, the 10,000 Kills gang leader was willing to go all out. High-grade Earth-grade tools are useless to me. How about this? Give me 50,000 slaughter points and 2 bottles of jade essence, and I'll let you all go. I won't cause you any more trouble. Yi Chunfeng demanded an exorbitant price, 50,000 slaughter points. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's request, the 10,000 Kills gang leader felt as if a sharp blade had been stabbed into his soft heart, causing it to bleed. Although he could gather 50,000 slaughter points from all over the place, without these 50,000 slaughter points, his 10,000 kill gang would suffer a great loss to their strength and vitality. What? You don't agree? Yi Chunfeng looked at the hesitant 10,000 Kills gang leader, his face darkening. No, I agree to young Master Ye's request, but 50,000 slaughter points is not a small number. I need to find a way to help young Master Yi. As the 10,000 Kills gang leader met Yi Chunfeng's gaze, his heart trembled. He hurriedly said, In 3 days at the latest, I will give you 50,000 slaughter points and 2 bottles of milk jade to young Master Yi. Good, I'll give you 3 days. If I don't see 50,000 slaughter points in 3 days, I will wash your 10,000 kills gang in blood. After saying this, Yi Chenfeng no longer paid any attention to the 10,000 kills gang leader and the others. He left with a charming smile on his face. Yu Nikhang. Chenfeng, are you really going to let them go? Yu Nikhang asked in a soft voice. She tightly held onto Yi Chenfeng's arm as she looked at his chiseled face. Slaughter points are extremely important to us. If they can gather 50,000 slaughter points and give it to me, then I will let them go. Yi Chenfeng nodded. With his and the sword puppet's strength, slaughtering the 10,000 kills gang would be as easy as blowing off dust. But he wasn't sure if his fabricated identity would be able to intimidate Slaughter City. Thus, extorting 50,000 slaughter points from the 10,000 kills gang was the best choice right now. Not long after Yi Chenfeng and Yu Nikhang left, the entire martial arena was thrown into a frenzy once more. Xiahou Shuye, who had already obtained 98 consecutive victories, stepped onto the stage once more. And his opponent was someone that Elder Tan had specially arranged. This was a dual soul and body cultivator with a formidable physical strength. His strength neared the boundary of a half-step reverse beast king, and his body was covered with strange totems. This bald man had defeated geniuses with 90 consecutive victories more than 10 times before. He was extremely famous in the slaughter arena. Seeing him step onto the stage, the entire martial arena was in an uproar. Boom! A powerful, baleful aura emanated from the bald man's body. He held a heavy axe in his hand and aggressively chopped at Xiahou Shuye. Weak! Your strength is too weak. Although the bald man's axe slashed through the air with astonishing offensive power, it was full of holes in Xiahou Shuye's eyes. His body flashed slightly, and like a gust of wind, he easily dodged the powerful axe beam attack. In the next moment, a spear aura that made the bald man feel fear gushed out from Xiahou Shuye's body. It locked onto him, causing all the hair on his body to stand on end. 70% spear aura break. A cold voice rang out. A 9 feet 9 inches long blood-red spear appeared in Xiahou Shuye's hand. It was a supreme grade, earth-tier long spear. Like a dragon emerging from the sea, it whistled as it pierced towards the bald man. Sensing danger, the bald man reacted instinctively. However, Xiahou Shuye's spear was too fast, and its power was terrifying. The spear struck the huge axe that the bald man had hurriedly placed in front of his chest. A powerful rebounding force passed through the huge axe and into his body, causing him to spit out blood and retreat continuously. Gaining the upper hand with his spear, Xiahou Shuye did not give the bald man any chance to catch his breath. His spear was faster than the previous as he stabbed out continuously. The spear aura completely enveloped the bald man, causing him to be unable to retaliate. His body was covered in bloody wounds. Strong. This Xiahou Shuye is too terrifying. I wonder who is stronger between Yi Chenfeng and Xiahou Shuye. It's really hard to say. We'll only know after the battle. However, I'm afraid they won't have the chance to meet in the outer city of the slaughter arena. Witnessing Xiahou Shuye completely suppressing the bald man, the atmosphere in the slaughter arena reached a climax once again. Blood slaughter axe. The bald man, who was completely at a disadvantage, roared. His powerful physical strength exploded. He gripped the heavy axe tightly with both hands and chopped to Xiahou Shuye with a force that could split a mountain. Just as Xiahou Shuye was about to be struck by the bald man's blood slaughter axe, the sound of air being torn apart suddenly rang out. The blood-red spear in Xiahou Shuye's hand turned into a spear aura that pierced towards the bald man's throat before the blood slaughter axe could land. Chi! The bald man's defenses were broken, and his throat was pierced through by Xiahou Shuye's lightning-fast spear. His widened eyes slowly lost their luster, and large amounts of blood spurted out, dyeing the ground red. Xiahou Shuye had defeated the bald man with an overwhelming advantage and obtained 99 consecutive victories. However, he did not continue in a spurt of energy to challenge the record of 100 consecutive victories. Instead, he ended the day's battles. Yichen Feng, I hope you won't make me wait too long. Xiaoho Shuye revealed a demonic smile as he muttered to himself. He wanted to step on Yi Qinfeng's corpse and achieve his record of 100 consecutive victories. He wanted to announce to everyone that he was the strongest. Mobile reading home, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blogs, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.